What's up, everybody? What's going on? Glad to see all of y'all here. Welcome to the DA's office. Of course, I am your host, Derek Anderson, the DA. Thank you, each and every one of you guys, once again showing up 30 strong right now. Hey, hit the like button on your way in if you haven't done so already, so we could get to it. T is here. He's hanging out in the background. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment, but he'll be joining us shortly. And look, man, it's been a hell of a week, hasn't it? It's been one hell of a week this week. A lot has happened. And man, I don't even know where to begin, man. I don't even know where to begin. But we got a lot to talk about. We're going to try to start it off with some, like, I guess, positive news, because there's like a small bit of positive news. But first, let me just say what's up to everybody that's here, the cats that I see in the chat right now, the folks that showed up. Appreciate everybody that's here right now. I'm trying to get my stuff together here, but yeah, let me see here. We got C Love. What's up, brother? I see you. Donald J Skywalker, thanks once again. Donald, you've been becoming a regular member over here. Everscale, appreciate that. La Bonita Graphics, okay. La Bonita's always showing up. Appreciate that. Outdoor Gamer, Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan, man. One of these days, I'm gonna say that smooth with no breaks, okay? One of these days. Parker CS, appreciate you being here as well. Ryan Conway, Sean Franklin, That Service Dog Show. You was the first one in. You were the first one in. You had the first comment, so appreciate that. Along with Venger, appreciate you as well. Everybody that's here right now. If there's anybody I missed, the Beskar man, thanks for showing up, showing out. Appreciate that as well. Yeah, lots of cats in here. Like I said, just hit the like button if you haven't done so already. That'll help this video kind of get around YouTube. More people can join in on the conversation. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring in the homie who needs no introduction. All right, this cat is always got lots to say about Hollywood and what's going on, man. The woke Hollywood scene right now, these guys are falling apart, absolutely falling apart. So we got to get wait. Okay, man, he dipped out for 1 second. I was about to bring him on, but then he dipped out again. All right, so we're gonna hold. All right, now he's back. All right, let's go ahead and add him to the stage. Your homie, y'all know him, Uncle T. What's good,
what's up,
brother?
y'all?
Hey, T. Now you got to tell the story, man, because you tell it so much better. You was thinking about changing your name. You was thinking about changing away from the Uncle T. Why don't you explain to the people why you was thinking about changing it?
That's not a conversation for all here, but I'll get to it one of these days.
All right, man. All right. You don't want to lay it out for us. All right. That's cool. No problem, T, man. It's a funny story, by the way, guys. I don't think anybody would trip off of that. But, T, we got some housekeeping to do before we get started. Everybody's always saying, look, D, you got to be better at the support stuff. You got to be better at the marketing stuff. All right. I promise I'm going to get a lot better with that. Let me go ahead and give y'all some information. If you are interested in supporting me, here's how you support. Let me just remove us real quick from the stage, real quick, T. All right. on back, T, adding you back in. Brother, we got so much to discuss right now, man. We got so much to discuss. All kinds of mad stuff going on right now in Hollywood, man. I don't even know where to start, but we will start right off the bat with the comment of the week, who is from one of the casts that was the first one in today, all right? He was the first one in, and that was That Service Dog Show. So here's the comment, and I really enjoyed this comment because it speaks to everything that we always talk about, right? Oh, let me get the background change. My bad. All right. So he says, and this was on the video, if you guys remember, this is the video where we were talking about how Marvel thought that the franchise wasn't universal enough, you know, like our comic books are not universal enough, you know, for the franchises to grow and get big and, you know, everybody's going to love it. So I thought that this was an absolutely perfect comment to that. The question is, what kind of fans are they listening to when you talk about listen to the fans? What kind of fans are they listening to? I am guessing that they are only asking the activists who claim to be fans, since they will help them push the narratives. They need to stop going to protests to ask the fans. They need to lurk around the comment sections of pages like this to hear from the real fans. We tune into videos because we are true fans of what these IPs were originally meant to me and helped to make it as big as it became. We have been here since day one, and that's 100% on the nose, That Service Dog Show. Thank you for giving us that. T, when you think about listening to the fans, when you're talking about the fandom, you know, and what it means, because, you know, again, that's one of my things I always say, right? I always
listen to the fans.
All right. That's one of the clips. You see it all the time in my videos, because that's what I feel we should be getting the message to these studios, to these creators or directors, whoever. We need to get the message out there is that the fans are going to lead you to the promised land. You're not going to find the promised land listening to all of these woke activists. You know, you got to start listening to fans that actually care about the franchise, and the rest will take care of itself. That's what I've always held. T, what do you think about this concept of who are the fans that these studios need to listen to?
I think it was real well put on that little sentence right there. I think they need to obviously listen to us. I think it's hard to do real market research with what they feel is a dying fan group. They think they're just going to go away, right? And they're doing that based on the research of remember what we talked about a few shows ago with the young kids. The young kids, they're not into Marvel like that. They're not into these things, man. You can see the Disneyland parks, man. They're not going there. It's too pricey, man. Why would I want to go somewhere that I'm not interested in? They're not interested in it. They're interested in manga. They're interested in a whole new genre that's gone. It's like us saying, oh, man, I was all really into rocket ships and spaceships and all that stuff and cowboys. No, man, we're not into that. What they're doing is they're pushing us out and not listening to us anymore. But we're the ones who have the money. We're saying, no. I still buy into your tradition. I buy into going to go see good stuff. They don't want that anymore, man. There's this, I'm telling you, they're going after you females. They are banking on female dollars. And it's so messed up, man. It's called the she economy. And men are, because there are not enough men being born in the U.S., they're totally pushing us out, man, and not wanting to be a fair. Look, there have been great movies with women, man. Freaking Romancing the Stone. Hey, there's a lead actress there. She's a co-lead, dude. What's her name? Kathleen Turner, right? She was great in that. Kathy Turner was great in that. You got a bunch of good things where just story alone will take care of the things that weren't so good.
Yeah. They
won't do it, man. They won't invest. They used to do tests.
You know what's interesting? This comment right here: hire fans or lose more fans if there's any left. Parker CS, thank you. That's a great point, because look, I've said this for years. Like, the fans, if you think about all of these franchises, right? If you think about all of these franchises, what is it that made these franchises great? Who put these franchises on? It's the fans. Okay, you see Marvel and DC. There's like thousands of characters. But why is it that certain characters took off and certain characters didn't take off? It's because of the fans. People gravitated to certain particular characters. For whatever reason, they gravitated to these characters and they said, hot dog, man, that's a cat that I like. I want to follow this story. I want to read more. Tell me more about this character. You see a character like Spider-Man, And it's like, wow, why did Spider-Man take off where all of these other characters just kind of, you know, sat by the wayside? And it's because of the fans. There's something about this character that the fans responded to, and what they need to do is just like Parker CS just said. Oh, I just lost it. Okay. You need to get more fans involved. You need to bring in more fans. The idea that you can, you know, take comic book characters that you don't know. Okay, you don't know who these characters are. You have no idea because you just bought the property. You didn't create this character. You didn't write this character. You didn't develop this character. You just borrowed this character from a giant franchise. And the idea, the very idea that you could just take this character and just run with it and change him around and do all kinds of stuff to it without consulting the fans, without consulting the people that actually made that character something enticing, something that you enjoy. And you're like, oh my God, this character is blowing up. Everybody likes this guy. The fact that you think you could get away with that is high delusion, man. It is like super delusional. Why would you think that you could? Yeah. Speak on it. T. Go ahead, bro.
Let me chime in. You know what? I think that us in this whole thing we got going on here, I think the one thing that we don't really, the reason why we're so passionate about it is we didn't have a voice before to go in and say, hey, look, I'm putting this video up. I'm passionate about this dude. I like characters. I like what they represent. I don't like what they represent. Please fix it, right? Most of them don't appreciate that because they just adamant about sticking to what they have instead of doing the fan service and say, hey, man, there's Comic-Con is nowhere where it's at if they don't come to where the fans are at. And the fans are like, man, I love this stuff, man. Give me more, man. Come on, dude. Come on. You know, it's the reason why Captain Kirk is so universal, man, and watching Star Trek, dude, and Picard, because they're iconic, dude. They're iconic because people say, man, here's something.
But think about this, bro. Think about this. You got to understand Captain Kirk and why Captain Kirk works. You got to understand, why does this story work? Why does Star Trek work for the masses? Why is it so popular? Why do people like it? You got to understand this. You got to understand
way better than Star Trek. Way better than Star Wars.
Right. Well, I mean, that's your opinion, and you can have that opinion. But the bottom line is you got to understand the character. You got to understand, why is it that the fans are gravitating to this character versus not gravitating to this character? And what you just said, it's like you're trying to turn this boy's brand into a girl's brand. You know, Chris Gore has been talking about this. You're trying to turn a boy brand into a girl brand when it comes to Marvel, when it comes to Star Wars. And that's ludicrous. That's like the dumbest thing in the world that you could. I mean, if you sit back and think about it, girls are girls. They're different. Boys are boys. Boys are different. So sell to these particular individuals and quit trying to change, you know, or reinvent the wheel. It's not going to work. You know, so yeah, listening to the fans, man, that's one of the things that we talk about all the time on my channel. It's one of my favorite things to say.
Really listen to the fans.
Really listen to the fans. Don't just pay us lip service. All right. I feel like this, like every major studio, they need to sit down and they need to do something like, hey, let's get a focus group together. Let's bring in 12 cats. All right. 12 random fans. It doesn't matter where y'all come from, what your background is. You like Star Wars, you like Marvel, you like DC. Hey, we're bringing you guys in. We want to hear what you guys think about what our latest moves are, all right? Because we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to the latest moves that these companies have been making with these franchises. Sit down and talk to them and figure out, okay, what is it that these cats are really looking for? What is it that they really want to get out of their franchises? Because we are taking over something that they built. The fans built this. You didn't build this, Disney. And it's really Disney that's the main culprit. But DC also jumps in there. You know, Paramount with Star Trek. All of these companies, you didn't build this. This was built by the fans. The fans made this great. All right? The Harry Potter fans made Harry Potter big. Without Harry Potter fans, Harry Potter is this tiny, tiny, tiny little franchise that nobody gives a damn about. But you add the fans in there. Oh, well, the fans are the ones that made this thing great. So you got to start listening to the fans. That's the main thing. And the first story that I want to get
this back in
all right, go ahead.
Excuse me, pardon me. What did I say this back in 2016 when I used to say, hey, man, Hollywood has no succession plan. They got no actors to pass it on to the next. And you're seeing that right now. You know why? Yep. Because YouTube has changed the landscape of how things are. And because I'm a YouTube star doesn't mean it's going to transition well into being a real star. You might have an Issa Rae who did that. You're talking about Issa Rae as one amongst millions. You got an Issa Rae who did transition from online onto what? the mainstream. What happened when they tried to put that girl Lily Singh on NBC late night, dude? That's so bomb, dude. Terrible, dude. I mean, it tanked fast, and she's got millions and millions of followers, dude. It doesn't transition well because Hollywood doesn't have a plan to make money beyond the 21st century. They don't. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to box the brand. The way media is coming out, man, it's too much, man. You know what it is? What we're experiencing is free energy for the media standpoint. And because there's free energy in the media standpoint, Hollywood doesn't know how to get it because it was funneled only through them in one way. And all that's changed. It's changed.
It's all changed. It's wide open now. It's wide open right now, okay? And that's the beauty of it. Right now, we are going to eventually get there, folks. We are eventually going to get some really solid and great entertainment, but it's going to be these growing pains. Hollywood is falling off the side of the reservation, and now you got other cats stepping in and trying to pick up the slack. All right, T, here we go. Let's get the show started. We already finished our comment of the week. Once again, That Service Dog Show. Thank you so much for these great comments. You guys, remember, if you want to see your comment show up on the comment of the week, I go through the comments and I just pick out what I think is a really smart and intelligent comment. Go ahead and leave comments on the videos. That definitely helps, bring my eye and my attention to it. But it also, will help the videos themselves. That's part of the YouTube algorithm. But let's go ahead, T. Let's jump into this. Speaking of listening to the fans, one of the things that the fans were saying when they announced Daredevil Born Again, one of the things that the fans were saying is like, oh, my God, I can't wait to see the gang back together again. All right. Matt Murdock, Foggy, Karen Page. Man, I can't wait to see these guys back together again. And then what was the first thing that they announced? Foggy and Karen, they ain't going to be a part of this thing. Foggy and Karen are not here, folks. We're so sorry. We're so sorry, but we're going in a completely different direction. That's the way this thing started. But recently, you may have heard the news. Yeah, they didn't listen to the fans. They wasn't listening to the fans because the fans immediately said, what the hell is this? Are you joking? We wanted Daredevil season 4, right? I've done several videos about that. Give me Daredevil season 4. That's what we wanted. Okay, Daredevil, in my opinion, is still probably the best comic book, adaptation on television we've ever gotten. Hardcore, gritty, raw, the violence, just the intensity of all of these episodes. It was amazing. That's what the fans wanted. They didn't listen to the fans. They was going to give us some stupid courtroom drama with no action or very little action, very little violence. And I was just like, come on, man, nobody's here for this. What are y'all doing? But they seems like, they've already started to say, you know what, maybe the fans might be right on this one. Okay. So you can see on comicbookmovie.com, it says here, Daredevil Born Again. We're rumored to see Foggy and Karen return after Kevin Feige mandated a series revamp. So call it good news, okay? We got a lot of bad news to go through tonight, but at least we got some good news right off the bat, okay? Because, look, this was a very important series, I think, for Marvel. And I think the fans, especially after watching this last Echo, man, they really need to listen to the fans. I mean, absolutely need to listen to the fans on this one. T, we saw Echo. You saw Echo, right? Yeah, man. See, yeah. We're going to get to Echo in a minute, man. Yeah, T ain't too happy about Echo. But let's go ahead and check out what it says about Daredevil Born Again. So are Alden Henson and Deborah Ann Wool returning to Marvel to portray Foggy Nelson and Karen Page in Disney Plus's upcoming MCU series, Daredevil Born Again? A new rumor from former Hollywood trade reporter turned film scooper Jeff Snyder purports that's the case. So when Jeff Snyder says it, you can almost guarantee that there's some truth to it. All right, some strong truth to it. So yeah, basically this is what it was. After Kevin Feige reviewed the completed footage on Daredevil under original showrunners Matt Corman and Chris Ord, who did Covert Affairs and The Enemy Within, he decided that it was necessary to take the show in a different direction and brought in Dario Scartapane, The Punisher, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. Hey, 2 great series, by the way. All right. Here's the guys that you should be bringing in to make your series. I've heard of Covert Affairs. I don't think it's great, what I've heard of it, but I've heard of it. But yeah, he brings in the guy that show ran The Punisher and Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. That's the one with John Krasinski. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you for doing something smart for a change, Kevin Feige, you dummy. You should have brought him in to begin with,
but
man.
I don't like all these derivatives of stuff I already seen.
I don't
want to see it. Come on, man. What you're
I
doing
want
is
something brand
familiar.
new. Like doing Born Again. Born Again is basically season 3. That's what Daredevil Born Again is. It's basically season 3 of Daredevil. So what are we doing here? You know, it's like, I don't know. I think they're just using it as the title. And they're going to, because, you know, Marvel apparently can't be original. So they're just using that Born Again as the title. We'll have to see. But it says in addition to Scar Pain, I think, Marvel also brought in Moon Knight and Loki season 2 directors Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead to helm the remaining episodes yet to be filmed before the actor and writer strike this past summer. Scar Pain is reportedly overseeing a massive overhaul of the show, which was reportedly going to be a slow procedural court drama before the revamp. Why in the hell did they think this was going to work? Like, this is where Marvel is at right now. Like, you guys was actually going to go out there and run a slow procedural drama, and we just got off of Daredevil seasons 1, 2, and 3, and now you're going to slow it all the way down? Get out of here, man. See, again, this is part of the problem when it comes to Marvel, is that they don't have their head screwed on straight. That's just really what it is. They don't have their head screwed on straight. They're sitting up here trying to reinvent the wheel constantly. All right. And it's got to stop, man. Just go listen to the fans. The fans will tell you exactly what the right move is almost every single time, because we're the ones that's watching this and we're the ones that's invested in this stuff. So it just always cracks me up that they don't do that. Per Snyder, one of the major changes Scar Pain is making is to bring back Henson's Foggy and Wool's Karen, much to the delight of who? The fans. Oh, the fans that you guys need to actually sell this product to. The fans that you're hoping are going to watch your show. You know, the fans that you just got through pissing off with Echo. Yeah, Echo was an absolute dumpster fire. You better damn well make sure that Daredevil ain't a dumpster fire. All right. So, T, how do you feel about this news? Were you a big fan of Daredevil?
I like Daredevil, man. Remember, I think the thing that you're missing is in season 1, it started off super slow, super duper slow. Then it got down.
They did?
To me,
that hallway fight scene was in episode 2. They didn't start off that slow.
I just didn't like the first episode. You're building world building, so I gotta look. It's been years since I've seen it, man.
Right.
But I think what they're trying to do here, man, even what they're doing, this isn't going to come out for at least another year and a half, dude. I need something now. Do something to make me forget about what my eyes burned and saw last night with Echo. That was appalling. What is that, dude? Fucking dancing, fucking with wolves with what? What the fuck was that on fucking Disney fucking Plus? You had the nerve to put that fucking garbage on fucking Hulu. So you better make sure this shit is good, goddammit.
Damn, dude. Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now, T, they dropped the ball super hard on Echo, and I don't think anybody wanted to see that anyway. But nevertheless, they really screwed this thing up. I mean, absolutely screwed this thing up. But look, this is how you get them back, all right? You know, this is how you get them back. You bring back this group, okay? They said that they made the Netflix series canon. So the Netflix series is now canon, which obviously, if you're making the Netflix series canon, yeah, the question becomes, what do you do with Foggy? What do you do with Karen Page? Because you had already shit canned them. So you got to bring them cats back. You got to make them a part of this thing, you know? So now my question is for the folks that are out there, what do y'all think about bringing back Foggy and Karen? Is this enough to, you know, get people confident in Daredevil? I'm going to tell you right now, I was not confident in Daredevil Born Again at all. Okay, at all. What is your confidence level right now when it comes to Daredevil Born Again? How do you feel? Do you feel like this thing is going to work or not? That's my question to the audience out there.
I think it is going to work. I think it's going to work, dude. I think it won't be consistent in all the episodes like it was in season 3. It won't be like how the Punisher was pretty much consistent. It won't be that. You won't have that excitement, because what Disney is going to have to realize is Disney's going to have to realize, hey, this is the adult section of Disney. It needs to get gritty and I need to see things. You're going to have a love interest in the show. You're going to have that dynamic with him and Karen. You're going to have to do something that is cool. They're going to have to go outside of what they normally do. You're going to have to, I'm sorry, Disney, you're going to have a woman on there with breasts. You don't have women on there with breasts or ass or hips or none of that
You
stuff.
need some, hey,
Come
man,
on.
men like women, okay?
Right.
Don't
And you
forget
need
that
some
Disney.
men on there
Men
with
like
muscle.
beautiful, attractive women. T, that's a main thing that T
But
always
you
talking
need
about.
somebody with
All right, I
muscle.
put a poll up.
That's what's
I
in
put
the
a
comic
poll up.
book.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
Have some men on there with muscles. Do something, man. Don't do you got to do something that's engaging with some kind of visual appeal, man. That maybe say, damn it, man, I want to be in that world, man. I don't care. You know what they should do? Do some branding in your fucking shows. Put some brand stuff that I'm like, oh man, I need to go get that.
You don't want them to go there. You don't want them to go there. Then it just turns into a giant ass commercial.
But no,
you don't
not overboard, D. I'm talking about something that's like really, really cool that pushes me to say, man, I want to see that advertisement about that. I want to.
Look, Labonita Graphics agrees with you. That's right. Give me some eye candy.
She's a smart woman.
Hey, comic books have always had the eye candy, okay? You know, when you're a little 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy and you picking up a comic book and it's an attractively drawn character, hey, that's just part of the business, man. They understood this back in the day. They don't seem to understand that now. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's part of it. Just like you'd like to see your ideal physique for a man, you know? That's one of the reasons why Jack Reacher.
That's why they're taking PE out the schools. They're taking PE out the schools because they don't want you to get in shape. Get in shape. Come on.
Have you seen Jack Reacher? Have you been watching Reacher?
I've been watching Reacher, man.
You haven't watched it? Okay, that's cool. Look, Reacher it's the most popular show right now, period, bar none. All right. And why? Because you got Jack Reacher out there looking like Schwarzenegger, man. Dude is huge. All right. Alan Rickson. This dude is humongous. He's yoked up from Hawk from Titans. Right. Hawk from Titans. This cat is yoked. I mean, absolutely yoked. And the women love it. And the women can't get enough of it. They are watching this cat and they're turning this thing into the #1 show. Okay. Yeah. Rogue Sarge, 100%, bro. Reacher is awesome. Okay, it's exactly what we're looking for. I got a video coming up about that. Look for that shortly after the show drops because I got a video coming up about that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Now, you guys haven't seen the poll. I did put a poll up talking about, do you think Daredevil is going to be a success? Right now, 72% of y'all are saying no. 72% said nope, not a success. Daredevil Born Again will be a failure. So you can't.
You know why y'all saying that? You know why y'all saying that? Because we got that trash called Moon Knight. What was that?
There's so much trash right now in Disney, man. There's so much trash.
Miss Marvel. What?
Look, T, that's my thing, man. Marvel has done such a terrible job with all of their television content, with the exception of a handful. With the exception of a handful, it's getting to the point right now where you do not trust this company at all. So yeah, they're bringing back all of the characters that we love. Okay, they bringing back Foggy, they bringing back Karen. Punisher's going to be in it. Daredevil himself obviously will be there. Kingpin will be there. But now you're looking at this neutered Kingpin that we just got out of Echo. So it's like, how do you feel about that?
What do we do though? What do we do as fans to do something? I mean, you could be like,
you got to keep doing what we're doing, bro. It's what we're doing right now. Listen. If everybody want to know,
yeah, go ahead.
What?
They can do whatever they want to do. It's not my.
No. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Hear me out, okay? You want to change the game. You want to send the message. You keep doing what you're doing. It's channels like this that are getting traction. Okay, my channel has grown like crazy because I'm just sitting here giving my opinion on what I think about woke Hollywood. It's growing like crazy. You got other cats that's already been in the game forever and a day. All right, you know, you got WDW Pro. You know, he's laying it out. You got Echo Base Network. They're laying it out, okay? Everybody that's talking about it. You got Nerdrotic. You got Geeks and Gamers. You got Ryan Kennel. You got all of these channels that everybody needs to flock to and make these channels the biggest thing on YouTube. If you do that, they will have no choice but to listen to you because they're like, look, these cats are growing and their audiences and they're the ones that's telling the audience, hey, man, this is garbage. This is trash. And we don't even give this shit a chance no more. Because now, again, you said it early, T. YouTube is starting to take over. YouTube is the new media. People aren't going to the mainstream media. People, they're not going to, you know, the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline and Variety and all of these places. They're coming to YouTube. They're coming to listen to people that think like us and act like us and talk like us. And we give it to you honest and real. We're not sitting up here trying to sugarcoat it. You know, so that's how you change the game. Build up the YouTube community. I'm telling you, that's going to change everything that's going down in Hollywood. They are scared to death. They are scared to death.
So you telling me the audience thinks it's garbage? You think it's garbage?
That you saw that it's 78% right now, T. Now it's at 78%. Think this shit is about to be some trash.
Garbage.
So yeah, all of this good news. And hey, look, I'm happy. I'm happy that at least it seems like they're listening to the fans, but that's it. That's it right there. Okay.
Peacemaker.
I'm just saying you, T. All right.
If y'all can give me like a Peacemaker, give me a Peacemaker thing. Like Peacemaker was phenomenal, man.
I love Peacemaker. But again, the only way that you fix this is by everybody doing their part. And if you are a creator, create some shit. Get out there, create. You know, again, I've already said I'm gonna start sponsoring and talking to more creatives than I've ever talked to before, because I want the creatives to start having the strength in this space. The real creators, okay? Not these cats in Hollywood, but actual creators. You know, I write books, but I'm not the only one out there writing. A lot of y'all are out there. I see you guys in my comments. You talk about your work. I want to start to talk to you guys and get you guys out there on the platform. So guess what? That's what I'm going to start doing. But this is the time to do it. Grow these channels. You don't have to be me. You know, it don't have to be me. It could be anybody. But grow these channels up. Take them to the moon. And guess what? These studios are going to either be forced to listen or they're going to go out of business because nobody's watching their trash. And then guess who's going to fill in that space? That space is going to be filled in by real creators who give a damn about you and give a damn about the work that they're doing. They're not here for a political agenda, social agenda. We're not here to preach wokeness. We're just here to entertain you. Okay. Let us entertain you. That's what we're here for. And that's what the audiences want. So just keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're doing a great job helping out. All right, T, before we get going with the next topic, which is going to be interesting as well, let's get to some super chats, man, because, you know, these cats have come in and dropped some bread. So we definitely want to appreciate you guys, give you some space on that. So first one, of course, is by the homie Bobby Rogue Sarge, $20. Hello, DA. Keep up the great work. Rogue. Bobby, thank you, man. You show up every single week, and whether you drop $20 or not, I appreciate you being here for the simple fact that you are very loyal. And, you know, loyalty is really what we need. You know, we need more people. We wish these damn studios was loyal to the fans, all right, the way that you're loyal to the YouTube community. So I appreciate you for doing everything you do. Bobby, you guys is a great supporter of a lot of content creators. You know, I jump on other shows and there he is. There's Rogue Sarge in there, you know, chopping it up, talking with the folks in the audience and talking in the chat. So appreciate that, Bobby. Thank you very much. You know, you don't know what it means, man. When you're a young or early up and coming YouTuber, you're trying to figure some shit out. It helps out a whole lot, bro. Next up, we got Chris Boats, my boy Chris Boats. Hey, Spider-Man is cool. Just don't let the Miles Morales simps be reminded he's Miles Morales. Right. And Peter Parker is Spider-Man 1000%.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, look, hey, everybody be sitting there thinking, man, you selling out. You know, you selling out, D, because you don't. Why ain't you caping for Miles Morales? I said, Miles Morales is Miles Morales. What's the problem? I don't have a problem with calling Miles Morales because that's who he is. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I've had to do 2 videos on this, by the way. 2 videos breaking it down for every idiot that's out there. Okay? Because I asked this question. This is the question I always ask. Do a man on the street poll. You walk up to somebody, say, hey, yo, I got $100 in my hand. Give me Spider-Man's secret identity. Ain't nobody going to say Miles Morales. Every last one of them fools is saying Peter Parker.
Why can't we call him Spider?
The Arachnid. Kid Arachnid.
There you go. A Kid Arachnid.
There it is.
Love it.
Man, that suggestion has been shot out there multiple times, man. Multiple times. But yeah, Spider-Man is one of the great heroes. And what they're trying to do is, we got to attach this name, Spider-Man, you know, to Miles Morales. And then that'll help this character, Miles Morales, build the character up on his own. You know, don't sit up there and try to piggyback off of the success of this character.
There you go. Black Arachnid.
The options are limitless. limitless, but you know, they ain't gonna be good. But Chris, thank you, bro, for the $5. I appreciate your support as well. Chris has also been a longtime supporter, so give him some love in the chat for that. Next up, RC for $9.99. I grew up with Star Wars and strong superheroes, not these weak punks, and I'm a woman. I mean, again, women, they are disrespecting you by trying to give you these like lame ass heroes. Think about how they disrespect women by thinking that women want some weak, like, you know, Carol Danvers, ideological bullshit. That's what you are looking for, women, you know? So give the women what they want, but this is not what women want. Women have never wanted these types of heroes. They want actual comic book characters. You got to focus on who your audience is, okay? Your audience will lead you to the direction you need to go. All you got to do is do what?
Listen to the fans.
That's it. Listen to the fans and you can't go wrong.
He didn't. That's so funny that he didn't listen to the fans. If he would have listened to the fans, he would have had Ricky Shazam in him.
Hey, look, hey, T, I just use it as a clip, man. I just use it as a clip. But the point still remains. You got to listen to the fans. Yeah, the Rockets, he slipped up listening to the fans as well. Thank you, RC, for the $9.99. I appreciate your support, love. Last one, we got Nighthawk, big fan of the channel. Keep being you, and Echo is trash. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I'm gonna keep being me, and yeah, me and T are gonna get to Echo in just a minute. But first thing, we got to talk about a different type of situation. Nighthawk, thank you for that $2. I appreciate that. Let's move on with this one, T, because this one's interesting, but not unexpected. All right, so here we go. We got Jonathan Majors. More Jonathan Majors news.
On Channel 4, whoever this lady is on Channel 4 in LA, that's like doing news. She's good looking. Wow.
He is distracted by eye candy right now. That's why you got to put eye candy, okay? The eye candy will keep T distracted. He keep me distracted, keep everybody else distracted, and maybe they won't notice how bad your movie is, you know? You have a good-looking woman in there. It's like, oh, this movie wasn't so bad, you know, even though it's trash. Yeah, but, you know, look at that chick right there. She look good, you know? I mean, maybe that's how it works. I don't know. What? But Jonathan Majors just got dropped from the Dennis Rodman movie after the assault conviction. So Jonathan Majors is going to continue to lose work.
What was he going to play in Dennis Rodman's movie?
He was going to play Dennis Rodman. Yeah, let's read it. Okay. He was going to play Dennis Rodman. Jonathan Majors has lost a buzzy upcoming film role after his recent assault conviction. The actor will no longer be playing controversial basketball player Dennis Rodman in a film with the working title 48 Hours in Vegas. Variety has confirmed. CNN first reported the news. The film is set to document the true story of the Bulls power forward's notorious trip to Vegas in the middle of the 98 playoffs. Lionsgate is also no longer involved with the project as the studio released it back to the producers to find a new partner. So I guess Lord and Miller were the ones behind this. Phil Lord, Chris Miller.
Super garbage.
Hey, man. Lord and Miller has done some work that I like.
Oh, no, not them. I'm thinking oh, no. I take that back. I want to redact that statement. I was thinking of the guys from Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But yeah, they were going to be the producer. Will Allegra, Ari Lubet, Will Allegra, and Rodman were going to executive produce. And then somebody named Jordan Van Dina was going to write the screenplay. So yeah, once again, Jonathan Majors.
Who have Teslas? All those people sound like they have Teslas. Who are these
I can't tell you. Look, T. What do you think is going to happen right now with Jonathan Majors' career? Because I think his career is in deep trouble for the foreseeable future.
D, look, one thing we do know is he's not going to be playing Kang, so it's irrelevant, dude. We got to just move forward, dude. This dude, hey, look, did he catch a bad break, dude? Probably did. Did he really do it? He probably did, man. I don't know, man. Look, doesn't bode well for Hollywood. I don't know how he's getting all the heat, and all those people on that Epstein list aren't. So, you know, whatever. You make it be
about that's the problem, T. You got a cat right now. His star was on the rise, man. He was on the rise. And now he's on the downside of his career. I mean, he's absolutely looking at possibly not working in Hollywood for the next 3 to 4 years, in my opinion, or taking some super small roles.
James Franco took the same hit. James Franco did worse.
Worse. Yep. I'm not denying it. But I think it's interesting that you're seeing Hollywood turn against a black man, and not because he's black, you know, that has nothing to do with it. But I think it's interesting that you are seeing this happen in this era of wokeness, you know, like all right, this guy did
care
something.
about
He got
woke.
convicted of
That's
something.
selective, man.
No. You can't say they don't care about woke shit, man. This is all they about.
Leo DiCaprio is on that damn list, and you see he's still up there.
He gonna stay on that list. But guess what, T? Even though these cats is on the list, even though these cats are all doing dirt, it seems like they're finding real, like, okay, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna take you out. You know, it's like with that, like they did with Johnny Depp. Stuff's been going on in Hollywood for years, but they poked out, oh yeah, Johnny Depp got to go down for that. But why? And I think it's strictly related to stuff that you do to women that work in Hollywood. I'm starting to see a pattern develop because this chick apparently was a stunt actor or something. She was a stunt actor in Hollywood. And so if something happens, it's within Hollywood. Like if it's outside of Hollywood, if it's just some rando, they don't seem to trip off of that. But if it's a woman that works within the Hollywood system, it's like the Harvey Weinstein stuff starts to bubble up. It's like, hey, this cat was messing with actresses. Johnny Depp was with Amber Heard, and now you got Jonathan Majors. His is Dylan. I don't know, I'm not sure how to read all of this, but I find it interesting that they're attacking him. And I don't think it's because he's black. A lot of black people say, oh, it's because he's black. I don't think it's because he's black. I think there's other factors at play here. But yeah, he's losing gigs left and right. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't lose gigs. Probably should. I'm not that enamored with his acting anyway. I think he's an all right actor. But
why doesn't BET support him and say, come on over here and make these bad Tubi movies? I don't want to hear all that, man. He's all right. He'll be okay. Hey, why don't Kevin Hart say, hey, let me put my arms around you and help you? No, because they're all phony. They're phony. And I don't care about none of it.
This also says that Major is also no longer in discussions to be in a Spike Lee movie, I guess, or a movie Spike Lee had been talking about, The Understudy, which he had been in talks to direct. So
the
fallout for Jonathan Majors is going to keep going, in my opinion. That's going to be a big black eye on his career, probably for the next 3 to 4 years.
Why don't Denzel hold him up? Why don't Antoine Fuqua? None of them, because you're powerless.
Everybody's backing away from this guy. T.
Power Rangers, they don't have nothing.
Everybody's backing away from this cat. They're not feeling him, man. Everybody is backed away from Jonathan Majors like he's hot lava. Hot lava. I don't want to touch him. I'm gone. It's really interesting to see it happen, man. But let's get on to this, folks. If you guys have any comments on it, let us know what you think about Jonathan Majors just basically losing more and more work. And when does his career come back? I don't know if this guy gonna have a career, if he don't get this thing figured out soon. That interview he did, by the way, was dumb. That was the dumbest move he did. I would have kept my mouth shut and just flown under the radar for years.
ABC, who owns Disney, put him on there so it could be a softer, kinder, gentler Jonathan.
It's going to be a minute. All right, let's move on to this, T, because I know you've been waiting to talk about this one. I know you've been waiting to talk about Echo. And you know what? It's interesting. Echo is actually getting positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience and from the critics. Echo is getting positive reviews, but it says it scored a dubious record. What has he got? He got the dunce cap going.
Yeah.
T got the dunce cap going right now for this whole situation with Echo. Echo is a trash, garbage, horrible series. Horrible. It's like the damn Gungans and shit, man. This is garbage. I can't believe they actually put this thing on. I would have just I honestly, I would have just pulled the plug. I would have said, you know what? We're done. We're not doing Echo. I'm pulling the plug on this thing. It's not hitting Disney Plus. It's just not going to come out because all this thing is doing is destroying the Marvel brand. All of the representation, because that's what it was about. It was about representation. Oh, we're have a Native American. We're going to have a deaf person. Oh, she's going to have she's disabled. Okay. We're going to have all of these things working to our advantage, for representation. It didn't do them any good, But they're saying here that it set a record. And the record that it set, if I can get to it right here, it has a respectable, albeit unspectacular, Rotten Tomato score of 72%. And it's actually, I think, dropped a couple of percentage points since then. But however, this actually makes it the second worst reviewed Disney Plus TV series as it sits between Secret Invasion's rotten 53% and She-Hulk's Attorney at Law 77%. Like the bar that they have to get to, to make something rotten. I don't even understand. Like, why is this like, it should be at like 50, 40% or something like that, in my opinion, or maybe even worse than that. But I mean, yeah, it's worse than Secret Invasion to me. This thing was absolute hot garbage. Hot garbage. Now, T, I've already dropped my opinion on it. I did a whole video talking about that after I got through watching it. I want to hear what you got to say about Echo. What's your opinion?
It was very bad acting, man. Poor acting, man. I mean, like, and it was acting it was acting that was poor from the central character. The central character had very poor acting. It wasn't a natural fit. It did not feel smooth with the transition. The story was not applicable to what Marvel does.
Nope.
It would have been better off, like, I would feel like it would have been better off if they did like what they did with that. What was that midnight series they did, that Werewolf by Night or whatever they did? That was a better off, like a one-off. Like,
oh man, Werewolf by Night is great, man. They need to get back to that stuff.
It was really great. Like, but this is like, it was hard for me to be. Did this need to be 5 episodes? This was terrible doing the King team.
What I said, this is what I would have did. I would have took all the good stuff that you had, because there was a lot of filler. There was a lot of boring parts. I mean, I think, again, I fell asleep. Every time I tried to keep watching, I was snoozing. Okay. I was snoozing. I was catching Z's, and I was thinking like, okay, I'm going to watch this show. And then, I'm going to knock out a quick review, and then that'll be it. And I mean, it took me like each episode is like maybe 40 minutes long. It took me over 5 hours to watch all 5 episodes, and the episodes are only 40 minutes. And that's because I kept falling asleep, and I kept having to rewind it and go back, and then let me try to watch it again. I kept doing that again and again. And I was just like, why does this show exist? Why does this show even exist, man?
Am I wrong with her acting, OD? Am I wrong? Like, her acting just didn't fit.
She's not an actress. She's not an actress. She's not an actress. She said it, like, the first time she ever acted, I guess, was in Hawkeye, because, she was in a Hawkeye, and that was her first time ever acting in anything. So
it's not easy on the eyes. Oh,
well, not only that, but you got the whole problem. Here's the major problem, I think, is that they were doing the sign language, and they literally were speaking and signing, and everything had to go in slow motion. So you're sitting there watching this conversation unfold, and it's like they're signing everything. And it's like, okay, I understand that she got to sign everything, but doesn't she read lips? Because I had to remind myself, I went back and watched Hawkeye, and Hawkeye was doing like a couple of hand movements, but he's mostly talking. He's mostly talking to her, and then she's signing back to him, but he was talking. So the conversations, they flowed better. They actually flowed a little bit easier. But watching 2 people sign back and forth and then having to read everything, it was just hard to watch. So that hurt it. On top of the fact that there was just a lot of filler. Like I was saying, what I would have done is I would have trimmed this thing down to like a Werewolf by Night type special. Okay. 1 hour of whatever the best stuff that you got, just 1 hour, and you're done. Because they only had about an hour worth of content that was worth watching, and then the fight scenes were garbage. Did you like any of the fight scenes, T? I mean, was there any redeeming value in any of this?
Well, they went off the bat, they had Daredevil in episode 1, man, but it just was like the fight scene and choreography. I'd seen other videos about it. It was very poor, man. I didn't like the fight scenes. I didn't like the long drama about it. It was hard for me to get into it. And it only takes about, for the audience, it only takes 15 minutes to be invested in the show. If you watch 15 minutes of a show, you're going to finish it through. And I don't feel like that. I was watching it. I'm like, this is fucking boring, dude. I'm sitting in the kitchen making food. I'm like, man, this is awful, dude. Even hearing it in the background, I'm like, what? I'm hearing this. I'm hearing the sign language trying to do this. I'm like, and I'm not making fun of sign language. I just feel like this was not a story that needed to be 5 episodes.
It didn't need to happen. This is not a story that needed to happen at all. It just didn't need to exist. Avengers Rising says, hey, Derek, did you see my comment? Yeah. No, you're right. Echo actress Alako Cox was an Amazon worker. That's why she wasn't equipped to be an actress, not because she's deaf. No, it's not because she's deaf. I agree with that. We had like Marlee Matlin, back in the day. You remember Marlee Matlin, T? She was in she was a great actress. Great actress, and she was deaf. So yeah, it had nothing to do with her. Yeah, she's just not an actress. That's all it is. She's just not an actress. And if you're not an actress and you can't act, you know, you can't emote. You know, she got this same like plain look on her face because she's like looking confused half the time. She just doesn't know how to portray, I guess, what it is that she was trying to portray. So yeah, that was a major issue with this show.
She's like a Cabbage Patch doll. She's like a Cabbage Patch doll.
Cabbage Patch Call, that's a good one, man. But yeah, it was second worst season. Or go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I would say this, dude. Look, I didn't enjoy it. I'm not saying maybe they just, like you said, she was an Amazon worker, but you know that show that we saw in Hawkeye, that was almost 3 years ago. You know what I mean? That was shot. So you mean tell me in 3 years she couldn't get any acting to be like, what's up on things? Like I would have much rather seen
acting
her.
classes,
She looks like more of a fit for a Star Wars project than a Marvel project. I don't.
She don't look like she's a fit for anything. I don't.
No, she's got a good look for Star Wars. She's got a great look for Star Wars, man. Great look. Nah, but I don't think
maybe. That's not acting is not her bag. That's just not something that she's cut out for. I don't think.
The script was bad, man. The scenes with her between her and her cousin. Oh my gosh, that was awful, dude.
Everything was like cringe, hard to watch. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it was just a dumb idea to put her, you know, in a movie in the first place. You know, there was no reason. Esmeralda, hey, what's up, Esmeralda? Great comment here. I think Echo is as a cameo character to show up a few times like she did in Hawkeye. I would be fine with that. She pops in. Hey,
what was Kingpin? Man, was that Kingpin in that show?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Man.
Yes, it was. And this is another reason why I think that poll is polling the way it polled. Okay. Another reason that poll polled that way is because Kingpin is about to be in Daredevil. I don't know if he's going to be the villain. I think it's Muse. Muse is going to be the villain in Daredevil Born Again. But Kingpin is supposed to be a character. He's coming back. And it's like the Kingpin that we got out of this show. Jesus, man. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay. Marvel, you might want to think again about that situation. But yeah, that's going to be a hot mess, man. That's going to be a hot mess. Let's get to another super chat. Folks, keep sending those in. We definitely appreciate that. I'm going to get to another super chat right here. This one just got sent in. If I can switch. There we go. I'm having mouse problems. If I can switch up here. Okay, here we go. Rafa Balde with 10 euros. I discovered these are euros. I didn't know what the hell a euro symbol was. I'm in a complete state of apathy towards Marvel until I get a film/show that gets the consensus of most of my most trusted YouTubers. I won't even consider wasting my time and hard-earned euros. Rafa Balde, 10 euros, bro. Thank you so much once again. Appreciate the love and the support. I 100% agree. It's hard to get behind this stuff. It's hard to support something that you know is going to be trash right off rip. You know it. You already know it because Marvel has lost all confidence, okay, from the fan base. They haven't listened to the fans, and they've lost every last bit of their confidence. Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. So here's where we are right now, where you got cats that are a longtime fans, man, and they're plunking down their money and they're buying stuff. You know, we got stuff in the backgrounds of our little studio spaces. We're talking about it. We're doing, you know, we're dedicating time talking on YouTube, talking to fans. And nobody cares, man. Nobody cares about this stuff. So you're losing the giant franchises and these giant IPs. You've paid billions for them, and now you're losing them because, well, number one, you don't care about the content, and you don't care about the fans enough to get it right. You know, care about the story, care about the content. We're here. We want this stuff. We were growing up as little kids begging for the day that we would be living in this era, okay? That we would be alive to see a time when, oh man, we got Marvel movies coming out, DC movie coming out, Star Wars is back. I sat through 16 years from 83 to 99, no Star Wars. You know, all we had was books and video games, but you know, hey, that was good. But then when Phantom Menace was coming out, oh my God, I'm so excited. Everybody's pumped up. So 16 years of waiting. And then, you know, we get to the, you know, the prequels and, you know, some people liked them, some people didn't. But now we are in a golden age of, you know, of entertainment where you got like the best type of content, CGI, you know, all of these big, you know, major nerd brands. The nerds and the geeks should be winning right now.
And I love, you know what? I love being a nerd, and I love how there's different factions of being nerds. I don't do Harry Potter. Not my thing. I don't do Twilight. Nope, not my thing. I dabble with Robotech. I'm not really an anime guy, but you know what? I like that we have our differences of being nerds, and we all pretty much get, it's like men are like, less feeling, great taste. Look, we're not going to get what we want, man. Period. We're not going to get what we want until our voice gets loud enough to just stay on these people's necks and say, "Hey, listen."
Well, that's why I keep making the point, T.
Hey,
T,
you got to be like, "Hey, come on."
T, that's why I keep making the point that you have to build these channels up, like you got to go over there and subscribe to cats like Nerdrotic is closing in on 1 million, I think, subs. You got to get over there and support that for the culture of fan bases. Okay.
Ripper.
You got Ripper. You got to support Ripper.
I don't know what Ripper do. He's like an Echo Show to me. I'm like, what? Talented guy, talented. You want to see the definition of an example of somebody who actualizes on what they says? Definitely that guy. But man, what?
Yeah. All right, let me get another super chat in here. Hey, Rafa Balde, thank you very much. Appreciate that love. Once again, he dropped some money last week, so appreciate that, bro. La Bonita Graphics, $3. You have to hire actresses, not check marks. 100%, man. Like they just went down the checklist with Alaqua Cox, right? Woman of color, check. Deaf, disabled, check.
What's her name?
What's that?
Her name? How did you say her name?
Alaqua Cox. I think that's how you say her name. Echo, the actress, the Echo actress. I think that's her name, Alaqua Cox. I'm guessing. I don't know. It may be different.
If you know where I was going with that.
Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck is her name? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like if you don't hire actual actors and actresses and you just keep trying to check boxes, guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna get people that can't act. Guess what's gonna happen if you hire directors that don't know the content and all they know is, oh, I'm a black woman like Nia DaCosta. I'm a black woman. Hear me roar. Okay, great. Can you direct? Like, what's your experience? Oh, I did what? Not Sandman, Candyman. And that's it. What's your experience with a $275 million budget? Oh, yeah, see, exactly. And then you end up getting the Marvels, That's what you end up with. All right, but T, hey, La Bonita, thank you very, very much. Let's move on to the next topic now. This one's tough because you hate hearing this stuff, but at the same time, hey, they did it to themselves, right? They did it to themselves. And here we go. PIXAR, all right? PIXAR is bracing for layoffs. The once great animation studio. Okay. You guys couldn't have told me nothing back in the 90s about PIXAR. PIXAR was it. PIXAR was revolutionary. They were changing the game across the board when it came to animation. When you started off with Toy Story, first of its kind, nobody ever saw anything like Toy Story before. Toy Story. But then you move on to stuff like A Bug's Life, Monsters Incorporated, Finding Nemo, WALL-E, The Incredibles, you name it. I mean, they were owning children's program or children's movies in theaters forever and a day. I mean, PIXAR was it, man. It was nobody at all. But I mean, where are they at now? They can't make money. And now they got to lay people off. This is on the Hollywood Reporter. The news comes as the studio begins to roll out theatrical releases of pandemic. I don't know why this is jumping like this. Pandemic era titles such as Soul and preps of the June opening of Inside Out 2. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the video that I put out just before the DA's office dropped. But, yeah, they dropped Soul in theaters. All right. They dropped Soul in theaters and they only made $125K on Friday night.
That was this week, right?
They're re-releasing. They're re-releasing Soul, Turning Red, and Luca. And I'm like, why would you re-release something that's coming on Disney Plus and I can go and watch it right now if I got Disney Plus? Why would you re-release this and put it in theaters? Nobody showed up. $125K, over 1,350 theaters. Okay, so it basically ended up being about $100 a theater. T, less than $100.
I'm gonna pay homage to my boy. And hit you with what do you mean? What do you mean it didn't show up? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's my boy Jeremy. What do you mean?
Jeremy's a funny guy, man. We gotta get him on one day, man. Jeremy's a good guy, man. He's a funny guy.
You think so? Okay.
I know you. Yeah. I know y'all be going at it, but he's a funny dude. All right, check this out. So, the layoffs are expected to hit Disney-owned. Why does this keep doing it? It won't let me highlight it, so I'm just going to read it. Layoffs are expected to hit Disney-owned PIXAR animation studios later this year. TechCrunch, which reported the news, suggested that this could affect as much as 20% of PIXAR's 1,300 people, I guess, workforce. Though the Hollywood Reporter understands the estimate is higher than what is actually planned. According to TechCrunch, layoffs may include employees hired to create content for Disney Plus because Disney Plus ain't making no money. But Disney Plus can't make any money. And so to Pixar of all studios, but who's running things now is Illumination. Illumination with Despicable Me. Illumination doing the Super Mario Brothers movie. These other studios are taking over where Pixar is left off. Why? Because Pixar wants to put out Lightyear, featuring the same-sex kiss. That's what Pixar wants to do. And so once you start doing that kind of crap, guess what? People are going to tune all the way out. They're just tuning all the way out. Nobody cares anymore. So the days of Toy Story are gone. That's not the same Pixar anymore. John Lasseter ain't there no more. Like what he say, John Lasseter ain't walking through that door, okay? He ain't walking through that door. That cat's long gone, and you left with Pete Doctor. And Pete Doctor can't pull his head. He don't know his hole from his asshole from his elbows. This dude has forgotten what it means to be a creative person, or he never knew. Because Pixar is just hot garbage right now. Nobody's checking for it. So this Inside Out 2 that's supposed to be coming out, I don't know if this thing is going to make any money either. I mean, everybody's looking at Disney like what Disney films have a possibility of hitting a billy. And we said, well, maybe Inside Out could, or Inside Out 2, because it's a sequel. People like the first Inside Out. But then when you start hearing about what the movie is about, it sounds like it's going to be some more bullshit. So it's like, am I really feeling like, this thing is probably going to be garbage yet again? Pixar has fallen completely off. But T, I know you got to roll. One last one, and this one is just as bad. Amazon is also cutting jobs. So you got Pixar cutting jobs. You got Amazon Prime Video cutting hundreds of jobs. And Amazon MGM Studios. What's going on in Hollywood right now, T? The whole get woke, go broke adage is coming to life. Right before our very eyes, man. Right before our very eyes. Hold on. Somebody asked a question. Mr. Anderson, have you played Half-Life 2 Hollywood Will Burn? I have not. Give me a description of it and let me know what it is. I've never played it, but not necessarily saying that I ain't going to play it. Let me know what it's all about, because I'm always looking for good games to play. I was an old school gamer back in the day, of course, but I haven't played Half-Life 2. So let me know what you think about it and leave that in the comments. Also, Twitch cutting jobs. Yeah, Twitch is also cutting jobs. All right. As it says right there. Company also announced significant layoffs to its live stream platform, Twitch. So, T, talk to me before you roll up out of here.
You guys don't see what's happening? These people are, I'm stepping down from this job. I'm stepping out. Get your water, get your supplies ready, man. Be on the lookout, man. Something is going down, and it's going to have a big old frown. And that's not me being conspiracy. That's just saying there's a lot of different distractions going on, for they're telling you, hey, look, the bottom is going to fall out, man. I'm telling you, this is an election year, dude. They know stuff that we know is rigged, and they're going to start doing this stuff. So you've seen a lot of these jobs being cut. Same stuff happens every year, but they want us to have movie amnesia. Oh, forget about what was happening. They just made cuts like this last year with other jobs. They're going to continue to make cuts, and then they're going to hire back at least like maybe 40% of the staff, because they're going to create a situation that's going to create the demand to come back, dude. You have to understand this push-pull situation that we have going on, and you pay attention to it. Pay attention. Get your water up, get your supplies, because these people are going to do something fucking super duper sinister, man. We're gonna lay up. So if they're doing layoffs, that means they're gonna take away some services, man. I'm telling you, this media outlet thing is more about free energy that they're gonna take away, and they're gonna have to curtail it, man, because too many people are making too much off of this stuff. To say, we're gonna get away to Amazon Prime. I got Amazon Prime. My stuff does not come next day. It was supposed to, at one point, it was same day. Remember, dude?
I remember that. Man. Yeah. It used to be. I still get some stuff same day. But here's what I think is going down when it comes to Hollywood. All of the conspiracy theories from T aside. Here's what I think is happening. Yeah, T is a conspiracy theorist. Y'all better believe that. here's what I think is going down, and it comes down right back to my boy Mordo. What does Mordo say?
The bill comes due. Always.
The bill is coming due. The bill is coming due. It's you got to pay the piper. Eventually, all of this woke shit, it catches up to you. Okay. You haven't been making money off of your movies. Okay. Amazon Prime put out Rings of Power. They spent over $1 billion on one season of television. You know, on one season of television that half the people, or no, wait, I think it's only like 30% or 33% of the people finished Rings of Power. Only 33% of the people that started it finished it. So that means you got 67%, 2/3 of the people that started watching Rings of Power didn't bother to finish the show. So what does that tell you? That tells you everything you need to know when it comes to this woke Hollywood nonsense. The people are checking out. They're going to YouTube. And
they're going to
buy
AMC. They're going to buy AMC.
With what money? They laying people off, T. They laying people off. They ain't got no money to buy AMC. AMC about to go broke. Why would you even want to buy AMC considering the state of movies in Hollywood right now? Why would you even want to buy AMC? If right now, theaters are sweating bullets because they don't know where's the box office going to come from this year, 2024. Who's coming to watch movies? How many people are going to watch movies this year? So yeah, I think this is a major issue. I think Pixar and all of its trauma right now, this is huge, man. This is very huge. The fact that they have to lay off, they just got through, and I mentions it here. Yeah. Last year, June, Pixar was hit by Disney layoffs, which affected 75 employees, including these two clowns that directed Lightyear. So yeah, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. All right. And T, I know you have to run. Any last words for the folks? Because we're about to jump into the Mandalorian, and I'm about to have some fun with these cats. Any last words?
I wish I had time for y'all to do that, man. Look, my last words is, hey, look, if you feel like you like, hey, please subscribe. Hey, pleasure seeing y'all this week. I will see y'all next week, and I'll stay a longer show. I apologize. I need to get something to eat, and I've got some stuff that I got to do. I've got a situation I've got to take care of, but hey, I enjoy my time with y'all. Y'all the best. I'll be reading the comment sections. Thanks.
All right, T. Appreciate it, brother. You take it easy, man. All right, so T is up out of here. Whoo! Yeah, again, folks, I think this is a big story that Pixar is now in the process of cutting loose all of these jobs. And, you know, you're talking about if they're cutting 20%, I'm gonna learn not to highlight this thing. If they're cutting 20% of a 1,300 workforce, let's just go with that, even though they're saying it's not going to be that many. But if they're cutting 20%, you know, that's a good, 260 jobs. You know, that's a lot of people getting, not working no more, man. That's a lot of people. So I think this is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. But, you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Pixar, Amazon, everybody is starting to cut back. Hollywood is in dire straits right now. And a lot of it, in my opinion, has to do with, woke content. All right. They've priced everybody out, in the theaters. Nobody can go and check out the box office. They priced everybody out. All of that being said, I think that YouTube and I think that independent creators creating content is starting to really take hold in the marketplace, and people are getting market share. I mentioned this on a previous video that the for kids 2 to 11, let me see. I know I have that video. I have this article here, and I keep bringing it up, but I think it's so important to look at. Let me check something real quick. Is it? Yeah, it's this. Now look, I keep bringing this up. All right. This is regarding Netflix. Okay. This is about Netflix. And I keep bringing this up for a reason. Because it mentions how Netflix is on the way down when it comes to kids in a certain age demographic. All right. Right here. Netflix's streaming viewership showed that viewers 2 to 11 years old make up 21% of its audience, 4% less than Netflix had in September of 2021. So in 3 years or 2 years, okay, in 2 years, they've lost 4% of their market share. They went from 25% to 21% for this age group. But YouTube, on the other hand, continues to build up its young audience 2 to 11-year-old YouTubers increased from 29.4% to 33% in that same time period. And this is what it means. It means that in the future, this 2 to 11 age group is 10 years from now. That's your young adults going to movies, and that's your consumer base. And what have they grown up watching? They've grown up watching YouTube, so they're going to continue to turn to what they know. They're going to go back to YouTube. They're not going to Netflix. Netflix is on the way down, and I think Netflix is going to continue to lose market share because YouTube is independent. YouTube is me, and YouTube is all the other creators that you guys are watching. It's independent content creators just giving you what you want, and that's working. And it's growing even in the young kid space. And this is what they're growing up on. They're not growing up on network television. And the viewership or the decline in people going to theaters. Okay, people aren't going to theaters as much as they used to go to. Ticket sales are down. Even though you see the box office rising, ticket sales are dropping. So this is Hollywood eating itself and destroying itself. And so when you see stuff like PIXAR is laying off people, and then you see stuff like Amazon is cutting jobs, and there's going to be less content made, all of these Hollywood writers and actors, they're, oh yeah, we got a better deal, we're making more money. But are you making more content? Are you making more product? Or is all of the people, is everybody turning to YouTube for their stuff? I absolutely believe that's the case. And I think that's what's going to kill Hollywood ultimately. All right. Let me get to the thing that I've been trying to get to all along. No super chats, no super chats. Okay, let me roll into this. I got a lot to say. All right, you guys know I'm a big, huge Star Wars fan. I've been a Star Wars fan my entire life. And, we were talking about this on WDW Pro. We talked about this on Echo Base. A lot of you guys have already heard some of my comments. If you check out on any of those on those channels, if you saw me live there, you already know some of my comments. I'm going to make some of those same comments here, but I'm also going to expand because I want to talk about this situation right here with season 4 of the Mandalorian being rumored to have 6 episodes, and then Mando and Grogu acting as a series finale or a season finale for this. This is a dumb idea on several levels, but there is a possibility they could make this work to their advantage, but I don't think they'll do it because they're not smart people over there at Lucasfilm. So let's go ahead and cover this because I haven't covered this particular aspect quite yet, but let's go ahead and get to this. So just a few days ago, Lucasfilm announced that a new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, idiot, stupid, terrible title, very bad title. I hope they change that. This announcement left fans wondering if the film would exist alongside the already announced 4th season of The Mandalorian, which is yet to be shot, or would it be in place of the 4th season? Now, a reliable Star Wars insider has shared an interesting rumor he's heard regarding that. By the way, this is on the Bespin Bulletin, so just so we give them some credit. Before we continue with the news of the day, I'm not going to go into that. All right, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. All right, here it is. All right. Following the announcement of The Mandalorian and Grogu on Monday and the confusion that it would be developed alongside the 4th season of The Mandalorian or replace it, a Deadline claimed that the 4th season was still in development alongside the newly announced feature film, but there's been no update from the trades or Lucasfilm despite fans hoping for some clarity on the matter. The 4th season was already written. Okay, so that was already in the books. Jon Favreau announced that last year. He said, yeah, 4th season, all the scripts are done. We're just waiting to shoot it. Okay, so they already had the 4th season written. But what they're saying is during the strike, right, it was indefinitely delayed due to the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, which ran into the fall. And basically the 4th season was gearing up for a February start. All right. But mere days before the Mandalorian and Grogu announcement, 2 separate sources reached out and said that the situation had changed. Filming was no longer planned for February. One told me a new window for filming, but the other didn't know. I told my fellow Star Wars reporter and insider making Star Wars, a big, giant shill, biggest shill in Star Wars history, what they had heard in terms of them finding some clarity, as he too heard the February start date a little after I had. So basically, here it comes down to it. They're saying that it's not, where is it at? This is a long article. Okay, here it is. One of the concepts that has come out of this, count this as a rumor for now, is that the plan was to do 6 episodes of the Mando season 4 to take it to the finale. What would have been the finale, a big 2-parter from the end of that, and that's being developed into the film The Mandalorian and Grogu, and that's from Making Star Wars. All right, let's talk about this rumor. Let's talk about the stupidity of trying to split your season into a like TV series / movie hybrid. Okay. It's going to confuse the hell out of everybody that's left. All right. Whoever's left, they're going to be confused by it. Number one, the biggest reason this is stupid is because The Mandalorian has already been chock full of a lot of filler. There's a lot of filler episodes in The Mandalorian, all right? There's filler episodes every season. Stuff that just doesn't need to be there, stuff that really doesn't contribute to the story, and it really does a poor job of building characters. So it's like, why is this, particular episode even exist? How many times did you feel like that if you're somebody that's watched The Mandalorian? You're watching an episode of Mandalorian, and then it's like, man, what's happening? Why am I watching this show or this particular episode is going nowhere? So why am I watching this episode, Jon Favreau? Why did you take time to shoot this episode? There's no character development going on, and it's not lending anything to the overall narrative that you're telling. So what's the point? And that's been happening so much with The Mandalorian. A lot of us have said, yo, you could have cut this thing down to like 4 or 5 episodes and gotten rid of the filler and tightened it up, and it would have been better. But they, again, this is what they do. They just kind of stretch everything out, long walking scenes. We saw that in Ahsoka. We saw that in Mando season 3. Just a lot of nonsense that didn't need to be there. But if you're going to, say, okay, let's go ahead and revamp a season of The Mandalorian into a movie. Okay, I can get behind that. And when they first announced it, I said, that's a good idea. Take a season of The Mandalorian and shrink it down, get all the crap out of there, all the gunk, all the filler, get that out, make us a good, solid, movie of The Mandalorian. I'm in. I'm all in. This will be great. This will be fantastic. They're not doing that. I really believe this is what they want to do. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to say, let's give them 6 episodes of Mando and then a movie to end it off with. And if done correctly, let me get to this point. If you did it right, it could work. It absolutely could work. You think about it. You have basically a 6 episode, if you have a good episodes now, but you would have a 6 episode lead in into a movie, with, you make and then you leave it on a cliffhanger. Okay, you leave it on a cliffhanger in the 6th episode. You leave a giant cliffhanger on there in the 6th episode, and then you take it off and you let it go into the movie. And I said this, I think on Echo Base. Imagine if, because it's like, are they going to do this without Luke Skywalker? I said, hey, you got to put Luke Skywalker in this if you want this thing to be successful. And everybody's like, oh man, that's his jangling keys, blah, blah, blah. You're right. It is jangling keys. The entire Star Wars has been nothing but jangling keys. But if you have a good season and you leave it hanging on, man, what are we going to do? Oh my God, we're at our wits' end. We don't know where we're going to go from here. And then all of a sudden, Luke Skywalker pops on the screen. I guarantee you the movie would be successful. Now, would it make $1 billion? I don't know. It depends on how much they spend on it as well as the success. I could see something like that making about $500-600 million, though. I could see the average normie Star Wars fan becoming interested in it. I can absolutely see that. A lot of us would probably be like skeptical, probably not going to check it, probably going to wait like everybody has said. Hey, what does Nerdrotic say? What does the Critical Drinker say? What does the Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Ryan Kennel and all of these other cats? What are these guys saying about it before I drop $1 on this movie? A lot of cats would absolutely say that, and I'd be right there with them, okay? You guys would come and check out, probably my opinion, because I would probably say, okay, I'm going to see it and let you guys know what's going on and if this is something to waste your money on, or did they do it right or whatever. But the reality is most normies, they would just go and check it out. Oh shit, it's Luke Skywalker. Oh, they brought Luke Skywalker in at the end. Oh shit, I'm gonna check that out. A lot of people would go and do that. So if you do it right and you add all the right little elements into it, okay, and if Jon Favreau has a really good season, not like this last season of Mando, season 3 was trash. If he goes back to like maybe even season 1, because I still thought season 2 was shaky. If he went back to the quality or as good as season 1 was, whether you like Mando season 1 or not, if he went back to that and he got that kind of a season going, season 1 of Mando, and then he moved to season 2, our season 4, and a season 4 that has a lot of intrigue. There's a lot going on, and then he ends it on a cliffhanger. And you're bringing in a big character like Luke Skywalker, and then he's going to definitely be a part of the movie. You can make something happen with that. But again, it would have to be, all of that put together. You would have to do an amazing job. That's what you would have to do. But see, this is where we are with Star Wars. And this is kind of really the thing that's kind of frustrating about it, because this is where we are with the Star Wars universe right now. We're hoping and praying for the jangling keys to save the franchise, or at least to give us something to look forward to. And Donald J. Skywalker, he hits it 100%. He would need to be prominent. He would absolutely need to be prominent. Luke would have to be the Mando and Grogu and Luke. I mean, it would have to be all three, and Luke can't just be there for a couple of minutes, okay? He can't just be there, pop in, pop out, and that's it. No, he has to be a major factor. And that's why I'm saying a lot of cats would be like hesitant. Nah, I'm not messing with it until I hear from the people I trust, until I hear from Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and all of these other cats. Until I hear from them, I'm not talking. I don't want to hear about it. Okay. I don't want to hear about it. I need the people I trust to tell me it's good. And only then would people have enough confidence to say, all right, cool, let's go. I'm interested in seeing this. And then maybe Lucasfilm, figures something out. Maybe they're on their way back, but that's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take some major work. It's going to have to take something completely outside of what they've been giving us, which is, number one, a good season of Mandalorian, a really good season, probably the best season they've ever had. They would have to give us a better season than we got with season, 1, 2, or 3, to be honest with you. It would have to be the best season of Mando in those 6 episodes in the lead up to this movie. It would have to be that. Now, does Jon Favreau have the capabilities of pulling something like that off? I don't know. I don't know if he does have the capability of pulling off better than what he's already given us. He's already given us 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. And, for the most part, I would say it's hit and miss. It's major hit and miss. You would have to get, what does he say here? You would also need a big villain. You would probably need a big villain since Thrawn. Yeah. So you can't do Thrawn. Okay. Thrawn is for Filoni and that bullshit. You would have to get away from Thrawn. You would have to give something unique and different, and it would have to be specific to The Mandalorian, So what could that be? I don't know. But it would have to be an amazing villain, and he would have to give us, more than just Luke Skywalker showing up, hi, and then dipping. He would have to give us a real solid Luke Skywalker throughout like at least 50% of that movie. And Luke would have to be a vital part of the story, not just showing up doing lightsaber stuff and then dipping out and then coming back. And no. You got to give us a story we can sink our teeth into, and you got to give Luke. You got to really do what he did with Luke in episode 16 of The Mandalorian, season 2, episode 8. You would have to give us what we got with Luke times like 20. You would have to give us something, and that would bring the fans back in. That would be. I mean, that's where we're at right now when it comes to Star Wars. And that was the other point that I wanted to bring up, because you guys saw me talking about this situation right here with the Godzilla -1 director, Takashi Yamazaki, showing up at Lucasfilm. And so all of this news starts coming out, right? You got this Mando and Grogu movie. You got Takashi Yamazaki popping up at Lucasfilm. All of this stuff is, again, we see it what it is. It's a giant distraction from Charmin Obey-Chinoy's comments from the Rey movie, which is going to bomb. Everybody understands that. Everybody knows it. So now we're getting all of this little news starting to pop in here, and everybody's kind of like, yeah, this is good stuff. Yeah, we like the fact that you got the Godzilla -1 guy at Lucasfilm, on campus, at the Lucasfilm campus, and you guys are talking. And this guy has already expressed a desire to direct the Star Wars film. I did a video about this, but if you guys didn't check it out, let's talk about it real quick. This is on thatparkplace.com. John Trent dropped this information earlier today. Takashi Yamazaki, director of Godzilla -1, screened his box office hit at Lucasfilm less than a month after expressing desire to direct a Star Wars film. Ex-user August Ragon reported that he attended a screening of Godzilla -1 at Lucasfilm, where the film's director, Takashi Yamazaki, was in attendance. Ragon posted, great Godzilla -1 screening tonight at Lucasfilm, was introduced to director Yamazaki after the Q&A. He was also gracious enough to sign my copy of the Japanese theater program, A Godzillion, thanks to Ken Abraham and Dave Filoni. So, Dave Filoni apparently is the guy that brought him in. He's the guy that brought this cat to Lucasfilm to screen this movie, okay? And that just gets your brain buzzing, doesn't it? Because it's like, all right, what is Lucasfilm? How's Lucasfilm going to save this? How are they going to save this franchise, this billion-dollar franchise? How are they going to figure out how to save this? They haven't done anything right. You know, they haven't figured out any of this shit. How are they going to save this franchise? And then you get news like this, and it just makes you scratch your head like, wow, because this would be incredible if this happened. This would be an incredible moment if this happened. If Takashi Yamazaki says, hey, next film for me, I'm stepping into the Star Wars universe. I'm stepping into the Star Wars universe. This is the next move for me. This would be incredible. Will it happen? Or is this just more, you know, hey, we let this news leak out there. Everybody starts talking about it like yours truly. Okay, I'm talking about it because this would be dope. I'm pumped up just thinking about this. So yeah, everybody starts talking about it. Everybody gets pumped up. But what happens? Does this actually happen? Are they going to do this? Or are they just talking about it just to kind of get our minds off of Charmin, you know, to get our minds off of this trash Rey movie? Just like we feel like, oh, they threw this, you know, hasty, you know, announcement together for Mando and Grogu. They just hurried up and threw this thing out there because everybody had been dog walking Charmin and the Rey movie for an entire week. And the Star Wars stock was probably just dropping. So to me, this is more that kind of nonsense, you know? Where it's like, yo, you know, I love Godzilla -1. Like, if you guys don't know, that's like right now, either my second or third favorite movie of 2023. You know, I think Mission Impossible, you know, Rogue Squadron, or not Rogue Squadron, Dead Reckoning. I love that movie, man. I love that movie. I saw that movie more than I've seen any other movie this year or this past year. But I mean, Godzilla -1 is right there. I saw this one probably the second most times. It's a great movie. And you want a voice like this cat. This cat took a $15 million budget and left no dry eyes in theaters. And I mean, everybody, the word of mouth that he got off of this thing was absolutely nuts. So this is the kind of cat that you want making Star Wars content. Somebody that understands how to manipulate and move an audience's heart, how to get deep into it. And then I was talking about Chad Stahelski. He's another guy that wants to make Star Wars content. They need to bring him on set. They need to bring these people in. It's like, when does this happen? When does this happen? When are we going to get the Star Wars that we've been looking for? You know, so I don't know, but it makes you wonder, you know, is Lucasfilm just doing this because they're trying to get us excited? Is Lucasfilm doing this just kind of, again, jangling keys? Is that what this was all about? But, you know, this Mando-verse movie, I think that's going to happen, you know, but it's a distraction from Charmin. You know, it's a big distraction from Charmin. So, yeah, if it says here, if Lucasfilm does indeed bring on Yamazaki to direct the film, it definitely could ignite optimism about the franchise that has shot itself in the foot at nearly every opportunity, whether that be an atrocious Disney sequel trilogy that completely destroyed the characters of Luke Skywalker and Yoda, or the various Disney Plus series that malign characters like Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. I mean, they got to do something at this point, you know. They got to do something to change the narrative and get this thing back where it needs to be, you know. And then we got this one right here, okay, the Mandalorian cinematic prospects may not just be one-offs. So this was the other piece of news where they're saying, yeah, it could end up becoming a trilogy. You know, and I think, like, if you do eventually take the Mandalorian to the big screen, you just leave it there. You don't bring it back to Disney Plus. You don't make it a television series anymore. You just kind of leave it there. You know, you leave it there and you just let it sit and say, okay, it's a cinematic franchise now. It's in theaters. We're no longer bringing this back to Disney Plus. If you like the Mandalorian, you need to take your ass to theaters and watch this. We're not going to give you what you want on Disney Plus. We're not going to give you new stories of the Mandalorian on Disney Plus. You know, if it works, if it makes money, you know, if they spend a lean budget, that Mando and Grogu movie, they spend around, let's say, $150 million, but they actually make a good movie and it makes somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, $600 million or something, and it, you know, makes a little bit of a profit, then and only then do you invest more money and try to go bigger. That's how I look at the situation. That's what you do. You know, Lombardi, what's up, baby? Greetings, DA. Hey, Lombardi, thanks for showing up, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, he also says here, Godzilla, the director of Godzilla -1 truly understands the audience. That's what you need, man. You need people that understand audiences. You need people that understand filmmaking. And then you need fans. Like the guy literally said, I got into filmmaking because of Star Wars. Like, why can't we hire fans to do this stuff? You know, again, I always bring that article up. I'm not going to bring it up here. But when Marvel says, oh, you know, fans are red flags. No, they're not. Fans are your lifeblood. They're the reason you have a job, Marvel producer. You know, Star Wars producer. Your fans are the reasons that you have a job in this particular franchise. They're nothing to be sneezed at. They're not, we don't need to pay attention to the fans anymore. You need to listen to the fans. You need to focus on the fans and hear what the fans are talking about and what the fans have been asking for. So yeah, you need somebody that understands the audience. But yeah, this is again, this last part, Heat Vision, right? They put this thing out there. They gave us, said Star Wars gave us more confusion than anything else with its Jon Favreau movie announcement after the very mess season 3 of The Mandalorian, who was clamoring for a movie. And what happens to season 4 of the show, what happens to Dave Filoni's directed movie that was supposed to bring the Filoniverse shows together. I still think they're doing that show. I just don't think it's going to be in theaters. I think they're going to put that to Disney Plus because there's no confidence in the Mandoverse. There might be confidence in the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has a little confidence, but I don't think there's any confidence whatsoever in, the Mandoverse. And that's, Book of Boba Fett, unless they rehabilitate it somehow. Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and whatever the hell the Skeleton Crew is going to be. And there's a chance that the Skeleton Crew could be great. I doubt it. Is there a chance that it'll be great? Sure. And maybe if it is, maybe, you reinvest a little bit more into this Mandoverse movie. But I don't think Dave has got it. I think that's it, man. Nobody hold your breath. Okay. Don't hold your breath for a Dave Filoni movie to get this thing done. Chris Bolts, the movie studios forgot they were in the business of customer service. Chris, man, it sound like you be listening in on me and T's conversations, bro. You sound like you be listening in on our conversations because this is literally what we say every single time. Disney is in the customer service hospitality business as an overall organization. That's their job. Hospitality, servicing your guests. Your guests come in, you treat them like members of your own family. You're treating them like guests in your home, and in the customer service side of it, you're giving them what they want. You're taking care of your customers. It's like walking into any store you want to be taken care of and you want what you want. I'm here to purchase something. I want what it is that I want. I want to buy something. I want to eat, whatever the case may be. You walk into someone's establishment. That's what you're here for. Disney's forgotten that. All the studios really, with the exception of a few, like Universal, honestly, is like the last, chance gas right now. Universal seems to be the only studio that seems to figure out, hey, let's give the people what they want. Yeah, let's actually just take care of the customer for a change. Let's get these cats, like these cats have been asking. I'm gonna hide that. These cats have been asking for us to take care of business and entertain them since we are an entertainment company. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about just giving the fans what they've been asking for this whole time? Is that so amazingly difficult these days? It seems like some studios can figure it out. And I get it. Not everything is going to please your audience, but mostly you should be at least batting like 70%. I've always said, like, if you have a franchise and you make 10 items, okay, let's say you have 10 TV shows / movies, 7 of them joints need to be good. Okay. They don't have to be great, but they got to be good. And then 3 of them can be dog shit. That's fine. But you at least got to have 7 of them be solid because at least they're hitting that 70% clip. That's a C in high school, So at least we're in a passing situation. We're in a passing grade. Most of it's good. Yeah, every once in a while we're going to get some crap. But most of the time we're going to get, a winning formula. 70% of what this franchise is putting out there is trash. Well, what is Star Wars at right now? Let's see. Let's look at Star Wars from a Disney standpoint. Okay. Force Awakens. Some of y'all may like it. Some of y'all may not like it. I have my reservations from it, but let's just count Force Awakens as one of the good things that they did. Okay. Let's just give them that because it did make $2 billion. And for the most part, people were still intrigued coming out of Force Awakens going into The Last Jedi. Now, obviously the next one, Rogue One, is the best thing that Disney Star Wars. Well, it's not the best thing. It's the second best thing because I still say Andor's the best, but nevertheless, and Rogue One, solid. All right. So it's 1 and 1. All right. All right. And then we get to what? The Last Jedi. All right. We don't even need to talk about that. All right. We get to Last Jedi. Now we're talking about trash. All right. So you got 2 good, 1 bad. And then the following that, we get Solo. Bad. All right. So now it's 2-2. And then we get to Rise of Skywalker. Now it's 3 bad to good. All right. Already you're losing. Okay. Because that's 60%. So already you're losing. All right. Now, when you start adding all the Disney Plus series on there, yeah, Mando seasons 1 and 2 were solid. Okay. So you back, you kind of evening things up. Okay. But then what happens? Then you shift over and then you start, well, now we got, what was the other thing after that? Bad Batch season 3? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Book of Boba Fett? Trash. All right. So now you got back to even 50-50. All right. And then when you start stacking on Bad Batch season, you can say the Bad Batch, those 2 seasons of Bad Batch were good. That's fine. But then when you look at Bad Batch season 3, then you look at the Mando season 2 or season 3, then you look at the Book of Boba Fett, then you look at Ahsoka, then you look at Obi-Wan. All right, we got the Acolyte coming up. Shit, man, it's like, hey, are you guys gonna make anything good again? Oh, but then we got Andor, and again, I love Andor. I think Andor is the best thing that Star Wars has done, honestly, since The Empire Strikes Back. You know, I think it's the best thing that they've done because the writing is good, the acting is good, and it really digs deep into the beginnings of the rebellion, how the Empire felt like a real legitimate threat. Like, I was like, damn, man, these guys gonna make it up out of here. The Empire was scary, it was threatening. You know, Andor was great, but Andor felt almost too little too late as well, you know, because by the time Andor came around, people checked out. Man, I'm done with this crap. Okay, I'm done. That's it. All right. I'm finished with it. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. My bad. No, Bad Batch season 3 hasn't come out. That does come out this year. I meant season 2. My bad. Thanks for checking me on that service dog. Let's see what some of y'all is saying. Let's see. I'm afraid that's not a big enough reason to bring him in because he cares. If he cares, he would not be compliant and follow the agenda. Well, yeah. I mean, and I'm assuming you're talking about Takashi Yamazaki. You know, bringing him in. If he cares, he wouldn't listen to him. You're right. You're 100% right, Rafa. If he comes in and just toes the Kathleen Kennedy, you know, agenda, then you're worthless. You know, I'm assuming you're going to come in and say, yo, if you guys bring me in, I'm going to make the movie that I want to make, or I'm just going to go back to Japan and do what I'm doing over there. There's no reason for me to do this. You know, if I can't make the movie I want to make. So yeah, 100%. You gotta figure that this guy, if he does agree to make a Star Wars movie, he's not going to be making some woke crap. He's not going to be making some agenda-laced bullshit. He's actually going to make a good Star Wars movie. Let's see. Donald J. Skywalker. Yeah, KK still being there no matter who they hire will stifle optimism. I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. Kathleen Kennedy still being there is a huge problem. Yeah, MKB. As long as KK is there, nothing fans would enjoy is not going to happen. I mean, again, it's hard to argue with you guys, man. I'm right there with you. Again, I'm trying to look at the glass half full. I'm doing like a glass half full kind of situation. So I'm trying to be optimistic. But, I mean, yeah, you know, nah, fam, we ain't counting Force Awakens shit was doo-doo. Hey, look, I'm 50-50 on The Force Awakens because, you know, there were some things that I did think worked with it. But, yeah, looking back, when you look at it as a whole, yeah, it was trash. You know, Rey was a terrible character. And honestly, man, I was hoping that Finn would rise to the occasion and become the star. That's kind of what I was coming out of Force Awakens with because I didn't really like Rey, but I liked Finn. And I was like, all right, let's see what they do with Finn. And seeing what they did with Finn in The Last Jedi, shit, man. Y'all want to talk about pissed off? Y'all ain't never seen me pissed off like you would have saw me pissed off when I walked out of The Last Jedi. Look, and I did everything in my power to apologize for that film. I tried to let me watch it again. Let me figure this shit out. They did something. I missed it, you know, but nah, it was garbage. So yeah, when The Last Jedi came out, man, and how they did Finn, I was just like stunned. You know, I couldn't believe what I was watching, man. It was absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Marcel, if they bring in Yamazaki, he has to have carte blanche. No producer notes at all. Same for Favreau. Otherwise, forget it. I 100% agree, man. If you bring in Yamazaki, if you figure out how to get this guy in there and you say, yo, Takashi, hey, roll on in here, do what you want to do, you know, because shit, we're dying over here. All right, man. We at the bottom of the ocean floor. This franchise is dead. Bob Iger said, fix it. And we're just going out and getting the best directors that we can find. And we're saying you get to do whatever it is you want to do. You got to get directors fans trust. And that's what I was saying on that video that I did. You got to get directors that fans trust. You got to get Stahelski. You got to get Yamazaki. You got to get cats like that. You know, Favreau is as well. People still have some confidence in Favreau. I still feel like Mando season 3 was messed with. So you got to get people that everybody actually, okay, I trust you. I trust that Takashi Yamazaki, after Godzilla -1, I trust that this guy is going to get the job done. That's how I feel about it. Okay. So as long as he gets the job done, I don't have any problems with him. I think that, if he does what he did for Godzilla -1, we in good shape. All right. We are in excellent shape. At least, again, that's what you want to believe, right? You want to believe that you're in excellent shape with this situation because he did a great job with a movie with a $15 million budget. So imagine what this cat can do if you give him like a typical Star Wars budget. You get his dude like, $250 million. Holy crap. Like, what could he do with that? When you see how good Godzilla -1 is, not just on the writing level, but on like the effects and how everything looked. Excuse me. Like, what could you do with 250 milli? But I wouldn't even give him that amount because I would be afraid to. It's like, we can give him that amount and nothing works. I would give him that upon like a second or third movie. Initially, I would just say, hey, man, let's keep this around 150 million. And he's still probably, oh, shit, that's 10 times the budget I had with Godzilla. Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready to do this. So I think that if you get Takashi Yamazaki on board, I think you bring a lot of fans on board. Okay. Actually, let me do that. Let me put this up because I want to hear what y'all think. I'm gonna put a poll up. Let me get this. You guys let me know what you think. All right, so if Yamazaki directs a Star Wars film, all right, so let's say this. He's just directing a Star Wars film, and he has full creative control. All right. No KK. Is this a saving move for the franchise? Saying that my question is too long. All right, hold on. Does this save Star Wars? Still too long. All right, hold up. Man. There we go. All right. You guys answer that poll question. Does that save Star Wars? Or at least from the standpoint of, I think you would need more than that, obviously. You got to do more than that. But I think it puts Star Wars on the right track. I think it at least puts Star Wars on the right track. You guys let me know what y'all think about that particular question. But yeah, I think this is what Star Wars needs right now. As a Star Wars fan, it's been hard to sit through these last few years and just watch just watch the franchise just slowly burn to the ground. It's hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch, and it's gut-wrenching, isn't it? If you're a Star Wars fan, like everything that you've been watching since the Rise of Skywalker and them trying to fix this and then getting the highs and the lows. Oh man, Luke is back. Oh man, this Book of Boba Fett was garbage, with the little scooter bikes and all that stuff. And then some of y'all was with Andor, some of y'all wasn't. I understand that. But it's like, it's just this tug and war, man. It's just like pulling at your heartstrings every couple of weeks. It's like some news comes out and it's like, oh my God, Star Wars is bad. Oh my God, they got Takashi Yamazaki at Lucasfilm. Holy crap, this is great news. Like, it's like they playing with our emotions, So I'm interested to see what y'all think. I don't know, man. Yeah, everybody's saying yes. All right. So far, 77% of y'all say yes. If Takashi Yamazaki comes back or he comes in, not comes back. If he comes to Lucasfilm and Takashi Yamazaki says, I got full creative control. I can do what I want. And Kathleen is locked out of the room. She can't say shit. She can't do nothing to me. Okay. I get to make the movie I want to make. As a longtime Star Wars fan, Star Wars is what got this guy in to begin with. If he comes in, the franchise is saved. Now it's 75%, so it's dropping a little bit. Now, imagine if Kathleen Kennedy saw this little poll. Imagine if this poll was more widespread. It's across the globe, and everybody is talking about that. Imagine if Kathleen Kennedy saw that and she's like, wow, man, 75% of y'all said I could save the franchise like this. This is all I need to do is just hire this guy, take my ass out of here, and go and let him just do whatever it is he want to do. And Star Wars is saved. You think she would do it? Hell no, she ain't gonna do it. because she's Kathleen Kennedy. Because if she was going to do it, she would have already done it, right? But hope springs eternal. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Hope springs eternal. Rafa Balde, no, KK would almost be enough for me to give it at least a try. Yeah, no KK. If Kathleen Kennedy left Star Wars, regardless of who they bringing in, right? If she just got her ass up out of here, all right, we got a chance, all right? They, immediately, half the fan base, all the people that have walked away from Star Wars for good, if you got Kathleen Kennedy out of the way, half of those people would come back. The other half is gone for good. Or maybe they need to be enticed by a good movie or something like that. The other half would be like, deuces, I'm done. I've already left. I'm not checking for Star Wars. But they keep their eye on the franchise. You notice you got some friends right there. You be keeping up with it. You're always talking about it. You got a couple of homies that's like, hey, man, what's going on with Star Wars? Because I got them, okay? Hey, anything new going on with Star Wars? They always keeping their ear to the ground because they just want to know if there's a reason for them to come back and try Star Wars again. They're looking for an opportunity. They're looking for a reason to step back into Star Wars and say, okay, man, Star Wars is back. And so, yeah, you know, Takashi Yamazaki coming in, you know, like this guy, no hope even with Yamazaki. If it's only possible if everything, cast, staff, effects are all made by Japanese. With the U.S. staff, he'd still be saddled with wokesters sabotaging him at every step. I mean, I think he would have to have creative control. He would have to have staff control. He would have to have casting control. Like he would have to have the con. You know how they be talking about, hey, I got the con, you know, like in the submarine or a ship, you know, that means I'm in control. Okay. Or we are in control. He would have to have full control over the project. And he brings in the people that he wants to bring in. And then when Dave Filoni is like knocking on the door, excuse me, Takashi, I have something to say. You get your ass out of here. Okay. Unless you're invited in, you are not to be around me. Okay. It would have to be something like that extreme. But I mean, yeah, he would have to have the control to say yes and no, you know, the right of first refusal for any people being aboard. If he wants to tell the story group to take a hike, he can tell the story group to take a hike. Again, that's the kind of stuff like Kathleen wouldn't do, right? Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't give him that kind of control. You know, at least I don't think she would. That's basically, you know, how I see that situation. Everscale, I believe they're just going to use them. Honestly, I think they already have. I think they used this entire announcement. I think they used this announcement basically to, you know, get the heat off of them, get the heat off their backs. Say that the Godzilla -1 director was on, you know, site at Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni brought him in and he was there. And I think that that's what they needed. It's another distraction. You know, it's more diversion tactics. You know, that was my video, basically diversion tactics. They're just diverting our attention away from the negative. That's what Star Wars is right now. Until we see more, until we see better, it's negativity. Okay. That's what's going on. And so you sit back and think about, what do you do as a company when everything has not worked? All right. When everything is falling to pieces, when everything is just gone awry, you know, what do? You're in panic mode, right? You're trying to figure out, how do we fix this? Charmin opened up her big mouth, you know, her big activist mouth, and she said something that she should have never said. And that's probably because her film is in trouble. And that's probably because this Rey movie still don't even have a script. That's the latest. It still doesn't even have a script. So if you don't have a script for your Rey movie, and, you know, the rumblings behind the scenes, they probably already telling you, man, we thinking about Disney Plus. How you feel about that? You know? Well, I'm the first female director to direct Star Wars. Well, yeah, whatever. Okay, but we about to put that joint on Disney Plus. You all right with that? You know, what do you do if you Charmaine? You know, what do you do? Oh, shit, man, I might have to do something. So, you know, listening to some of the cats like, you know, Pro basically said he thinks she hired a WDW Pro. He basically said, yeah, I think she hired somebody to, you know, get her on that CNN interview so that she could say, I'm the first female director and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm leading the Star Wars story. I'm the first female ever, you know, stepping all over all the women that have led Star Wars storytelling in the past. I mean, that's what this chick did. And so now you got an outrage going on, okay? The uproar from the fans was instantaneous. Everybody was hot. I mean, golly, I ain't never seen the fan base react like that. And since like maybe like, you know, like probably since like like The Last Jedi, honestly. Like, I've seen the fan base have some strong heart. No. Since Gina Carano got fired, that was the last thing that I saw the fans have a visceral reaction to when they fired Gina Carano for no damn reason. When they did that, that's when the fans reacted. And the fans jumped all over Charmin after that. And then the shills ran to her defense. And the shills failed. All of them failed. Okay? Every last shill got out there trying to run cover for her, trying to run defense for her. They all bombed. They all failed. So it's like, okay, well, we got to do something, y'all, because these people ain't getting the job done. We screwed up. Our own damn director is getting heat put on our heads. We got to do something. So what do? Let's go ahead and drop the Mando, this Mando news. They were probably already thinking about it. They were probably already considering it. They said, yo, let's just go ahead and do it. And let's just get it out there. Because once we do that, we in the house. That'll get all of the heat off of Charmin. And then we can figure out how we're going to figure this Rey movie situation out. Okay. They probably already pulled her in. Hey, bitch, get in here and shut the fuck up. Stop saying stuff on TV. You know, they probably already came in there and read her ass to write at. So I guarantee you that with this situation right now, okay, when it comes to Takashi Yamazaki, I guarantee you this was another, calculated move. This was another calculated move on the part of Lucasfilm to try to get rid of all of the negativity that they bring upon themselves by just not giving us good Star Wars and then running all of these dumbass activists that don't know how to shut their feminist mouths up. They don't know how to just say, hey, man, I'm just a regular director out here to make good Star Wars content. I hope you guys like it. I'm really excited to give something to the fans that, they've been waiting for. They've been aching for good Star Wars. I can't wait to show it to them. Like just that. I'm the first female that I'm finally getting to leave. It's 2024. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have lost your goddamn mind. But that's what happens when you hire these morons, when you hire activists. They got their activism. They wear it on their sleeve. That's all they're about is the activism. So they don't know how to shut up. They don't know how to be, careful with their words because they're just so used to popping off at the mouth and whatever they want to say, they say it. So that's the problem that you got with this chick. So she completely destroys, all the momentum. There was no real momentum, but any momentum that there might have been after Daisy Ridley is showing her excitement, right? Because you guys saw all the little interviews. Daisy Ridley, I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, you guys are going to see something you never seen before. And, all that little positive energy that Daisy Ridley was trying to put out there into the atmosphere. Here comes Charmin. It's 2024. Blah, 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 women, blah, blah, blah. It's about time. Like, man, fuck this. And that's what everybody did. And then everybody jumped all over her ass. So they had to do something. And so, yeah, I think Takashi Yamazaki is just it's just more diversion tactics. And pray to God that something like this actually does happen because, again, 63% of you guys, so that percentage keeps coming down on the poll, but 63% of y'all say it could work. And that's kind of where I would think most fans would say, most people would be wait and see, or a lot of people would be wait and see, but most people would be on board with it if he has full creative control. Okay. Let's see here. D. Gary, she screwed it up before production begins, and they're really hurting for money. They can't afford another year like 2023. 100%, bro. 100%. They cannot afford. That's what's so interesting about the Acolyte coming out, because if the Acolyte comes out and then the Skeleton Crew, which nobody has any confidence in, honestly, I got more confidence that the Skeleton Crew might be good than I think the Acolyte has at all. The Acolyte, that's going to be garbage. That's going to be sweet, hot garbage. Okay, that's going to be one of the worst things that they've ever done. I have nothing but full confidence in that fact. So I think that the Acolyte, they're going to get another year like that, because what we got the Acolyte, we got Bad Batch season 3, we got the Skeleton Crew, and then we got Tales of the Jedi. None of that shit moves the needle. None of that moves the needle. So yeah, D, you 100% right. I don't think this happens, man. They are hurting for money. They have nowhere to go to get any positive news. The only thing that they can get positive news out of right now is Takashi Yamazaki and Jon Favreau doing a Mando movie. But all of that stuff is like far off in the distance. Takashi, if it even happens, right? If that even happens, that's like 3-4 years down the line. That ain't coming out like next year. And then Mando, I guess the Mandoverse movie, I guess it could come out December of 2025. So, and that might be another reason to hurry up, because you got your scripts done. You got your scripts finished. And okay, we got to move on this. You know, we got to move on this. It's been nothing but bad news with Star Wars for the last 3 years, for the last 4 years. Since Rise of Skywalker, we have had very little wins, and it's been all losses. All right. It's been all losses. So, yeah, I think that's the main reason why they had to move fast and say, yo, we need some positive energy coming out of this franchise, y'all. And we're not getting it from this big mouth, loudmouth feminist. She ain't giving it to us. Rey, nobody likes the character of Rey. All the YouTubers right now, every video that comes out about Star Wars is just assaulting Star Wars with a passion. Shit, even like Star Wars Theory was coming out and just bashing. Like, man, look, I'm going back to the old shit. I'm going to just be watching my old stuff. That's what I'm about to do. I'm not about to sit up here and deal with this Disney Star Wars. I keep forgetting to say that. We got to start calling it what it is. It's Disney Star Wars. Actual Star Wars, real Star Wars was left back in 2012 when George Lucas signed them papers. That's where the real Star Wars is there. And since then, it's been Disney Star Wars. And Disney Star Wars has done very little for this franchise at all. So it's Disney Star Wars. It's like a completely separate thing. I got to start remembering to call it that. I always forget, get caught up. Man. Yeah, right here. The best option is for them is for Yamazaki to do its own movie that takes place past Rey, that Rey's character is done for good. D, me and you on the same page, bro. I'm right there with you. If you want to fix Star Wars, here's what you do. You get some really good creative directors. You get some real, like some ballers, okay? Some certified geniuses. You get somebody like Yamazaki. You get Stahelski, who, got John Wick cracking, right? John Wick is popping right now. They're about to come out with another spinoff. The ballerina's supposed to come out. I don't know how that's going to do. But John Wick is popping. You get cats like that to say, hey, let's go like 200 years into the future, okay? Let's go further into the future. Maybe not 200 years, maybe 100 years or something. But you go into the future and you start telling stories there, and you just leave the Skywalker saga alone until you can figure out what you want to do, how to shit can the sequel trilogy. There's a lot that needs to happen, but I think if you want to make something right now, you got to get past this era and you got to go further into the future, and you got to find people that know how to tell stories and know George Lucas's vision. Okay, because that's the thing that pisses me off the most about it, is that they have abandoned George Lucas's vision for what this franchise should be, and they've gone on and made their own woke shit because they have their own dumbass agendas. And that's what you got to do. You got to get these cats up out of there, man. Get away from Rey. Rey is a terrible character. Get away from her ass and get on to something that actually works. And honestly, if they did that, they could save Star Wars, man. They could legitimately save Star Wars, no doubt about it. Let's see. Lil Dandelion, even when KK is not directly interfering, she's sabotaging indirectly. Gina's harassment consisted of woke makeup artists, complicit catering service, etc. Jodie Foster did say Gen Z is insufferable. Yep. My kids is Gen Z, and they probably mad at me for saying this. But yeah, Gen Z, man, it's too many. It's the education, y'all. No, I'm sorry. It's the education. The education has failed kids. It just has. And so, unfortunately, you got a lot of woke kids running around. And then when they get elevated into positions like at Lucasfilm, especially when you got an ideologue like Kathleen Kennedy looking to hire everybody that's a female and wearing a skirt or got some kind of, pronouns in their biographs or all that kind of stuff, this is what you get. Then you end up Gina Carano just being a normal human being and just speaking her mind on various topics that she wants to speak about. Nothing wrong with that. It's goddamn America. We're in America. We're supposed to be able to say what we want to say. And she ain't hurting people and this and that. Oh, no, Gina Carano, she got to go. Okay. So, yeah, that's the major problem. That's the major problem. Eddie Wise, what's going to save Marvel? Oh, man. Marvel has a better shot than Star Wars. I can say that. You can save Marvel if you can get rid of agenda and you start bringing in people that, again, care about Marvel. You got to start with your fan base, okay? You got to start with your fans. You got to start listening to your fans. You can't try to turn a boy franchise like comic books or a boy brand like comic books into a female brand. You got to get rid of the MCU, okay? You got to start bringing in heroes, okay? Heroes. That's what we're looking for. Superheroes appeal to guys because guys Guys want to be the heroes. Okay. We always imagine ourselves as heroes. And so we want to go out there and save the day. That's what guys are looking for. All right. And whether you like this or not, that's just not something that women like aspire to be. They don't aspire to be firefighters. I'm not saying some women don't, but they don't aspire to be firefighters and police officers and army soldiers, people that are rushing into danger to save people. Like, that's what a superhero is. And if you want to appeal to that, you want to appeal as Marvel and DC and all of these comic book brands, you want to appeal to that kind of a customer. Well, that's what superheroes are. Superheroes are people that save the day. You know, they have powers, they have this, they have that, but bottom line is they just come in and they save the day. They fight the bad guys, you know? So that's what you need to do if you want to save Marvel. You got to get back to the roots of Marvel Comics. And the heroes that Stan Lee created and all of these various comic book guys, they created heroes that saved the day. You know, like, that's what they did. And they were heroes, and they were men. They were male heroes. And then, yeah, like she was saying earlier, you need some eye candy, man. You need some eye candy out there. We need to see beautiful women, you know, not butch women, beautiful women. I want to see gorgeous women out there, you know. That's what you need. So T and me and everybody that's out there that's a comic book fan and have been comic book fans forever, that's what we're looking for, man. We are looking for some old school thrills. Dr. Doom, I don't know, man. I'm afraid of what they're going to do with Dr. Doom. Just hearing what they're doing with Fantastic Four, I'm starting to lose confidence that Fantastic Four is going to be any good. You know, I'm starting to lose confidence that this thing is going to be any good. I think it's going to be, I'm afraid. I think it's just going to be woke. I think there's going to be, you know, we're hearing like Sue Storm is going to be the main protagonist. You know, you got, you know, Senor Fantastico, Reed Richards, right? You know, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm nervous about that project. I don't think they're going to get it right. So yeah, I'm already negative on anything that they're going to do with Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom could absolutely save it if they got Dr. Doom right. Women want to be with the hero. Exactly. Women want to be with the hero. They don't want to be the hero. They want to be with the hero. You know, I did a video about this. I was talking about male heroes, right? You need to bring back male heroes. And one of the points that I was making is that male heroes appeal to, you know, both men and women. You know, male heroes appeal to men for obvious reasons. Again, we want to be the hero. We want to imagine ourselves in the role of the hero. And women love seeing men being men, masculine men. They love masculinity. It fits within nature. It's just natural. Women love masculine guys. They don't like feminine dudes. They don't like effeminate men. They like masculine men. And they don't. And look, it's the same way. We do not like masculine women. So seeing some woman out there being super masculine, why would I be interested in that? Why would a guy that loves, you know, comic books and why would I be interested in a masculine woman? Can somebody explain that? Why would I be interested in a masculine woman? And in women, why would a woman be interested in a masculine woman? What do girls do growing up when they're playing? Not all girls, but what do most girls do? They're playing with dolls. They're playing dress up. They want to be pretty. They want to be feminine. They want to be cute. They want to be dainty. They want to be all of these things. And then you're giving them these masculine butch, like, why would anybody be interested in that? Again, that's why the Marvels makes $200 million. Okay. It can only bring in $205 million worldwide. There's a reason for that. Do you think Marvel's going to learn that lesson? No. They're not going to learn that lesson at all. You know, that's the problem. Doom will be a girl. Yeah, more than likely. Yep, more than likely. I don't think it's fatigue. It's just fatigue of the same formula. The formula they are using just does not work in comic books. D, again, 100%, man. That's the problem, is that you have a formula. You know, we always heard about the Marvel formula, right? The Marvel formula. They can just spit this thing out. They can attach any heroes they want to attach to it. Doesn't matter. Any story they want to attach to it. Doesn't matter. The formula works. We've been watching the formula fail in real time. All right. Live and direct, right in your face. We've been watching this Marvel formula fail since Phase 4 started. It started right WandaVision, but it's kind of smoke and mirrors. Like WandaVision kind of fooled us. It failed right away with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And because they went straight, and remember, the first few minutes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier were great. People loved it. But right after that, done. It went right off the side of a cliff. And they've been failing ever since. They can't figure this thing out. How come this isn't working? We got this formula. It worked on Captain America and Iron Man and all of these other movies. How come it's not working anymore? Well, because the formula really wasn't the thing. You had good writers, all right? You had good directors. You had good actors. That was the strength of the Marvel Cinematic Universe back in phases 1 and 2 and 3. You had great actors, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, you had Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. You had people that absolutely were good at their craft. Robert Downey Jr. came out and said, the best acting I've ever done was in Iron Man. He was acting his ass off, but he says it went under the radar because, people ain't really checking for comic book stuff. But he says, yeah, that was the best acting job I ever did. You had quality in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You had, you had Jon Favreau with the first Iron Man. You got Joe Johnston. All right. You had the Russo brothers, James Gunn. You had good quality filmmakers, people that knew how to write. All right. Who do you have now? Nia DaCosta? Yeah, you had Sam Raimi doing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but that wasn't Sam Raimi. Okay. That wasn't Sam Raimi. That's not something. Sam Raimi had that thing from the giddy up. It would have been a completely different movie. He was taking over for another guy that just was running the Marvel formula, and they thought the Marvel formula could hold up, But yeah, like you had good talent, and now you don't. Now you've been handing your franchise off to a bunch of knuckleheads. All right. First time director Chloe Zhao. You getting it, you handing it off to people that really don't love comic books, and it shows. And then the people that are writing, they don't love comic books, and it shows. You need fans backing it. All of this stuff requires fans. That's what you need. You need the fans to get back up in there. Can somebody tell me if there is a person who listens to fan mail? No, probably not, Esmeralda. I would say no. I would say there's nobody sitting down there at Disney opening up fan mail and listening to it. They probably tossing all of that shit right into the fire. Right into the furnace. They ain't checking for that. That's why I said the way that you got to get your message across is to build up YouTube platforms, build up the people talking about this stuff. The voices are coming here. You guys, there's 54 of you guys right now. You guys are the reason. And then when you go to other creators and they have big channels and they have more, live stream people, and that's what's building this thing up. That's why people are going to start taking notice, because the YouTubers are going to absolutely start wrecking shop all over the place. They're going to start, number one, building up, they're going to start building up the creative communities. Okay. The creative communities that are coming, from us, from writers, from authors, from artists, that's where it's going to start. That's where this thing is going to change. It's not going to change by you sending in letters to the editor. I mean, nobody's checking for those, you can send them in, and make your voice heard that way. But the biggest voices are going to be on social media, like in places like YouTube, and pretty soon YouTube is going to have to silence them. I mean, I'll be honest with you. YouTube is going to have to silence it. Eddie Wise, what is Disney going to be like in 2030? Shit, I don't know. What is that? That's 6 years off, bro. I mean, they could change. There's an opportunity to right the ship. But I think the first thing you got to do is you got to get rid of everybody that's woke inside that company. All right. You got to fire everybody. It's got to be the purge. Okay. It's got to be the purge. Purely just, hey, everybody, first one's got to go with Bob Iger. So Nelson Peltz fighting with this proxy battle, that's a story that everybody needs to pay attention to when it comes to Disney. Okay. Because Disney is, in my opinion, Disney is the linchpin of a lot of the problems in Hollywood, and where Disney goes, Hollywood goes. And there's a lot of other studios, there's all kinds of other people, but Disney holds major properties and they're the biggest. So if Disney goes in a certain direction, Hollywood tends to follow Disney. I think Disney is taking Hollywood right down the shitter with it. Okay. That's what Disney's doing. Disney's going down the shitter and they're taking Hollywood down with it. And a lot of the cast you see, Universal, they're trying to do what they're doing. And maybe eventually Universal will, overtake Disney in the long run. They overtook them last year in the box office, but I think overall Disney still holds a large amount of the market share. In order for Disney to go completely down, they're going to have to get rid of Iger, and that's why that Nelson Peltz, proxy battle is huge. That's huge. That's a story we're going to cover this year. Keep your eye on that. Pay attention to that because that's going to be big. Because if Peltz can get a seat on the board and they can start challenging Bob Iger as CEO and get him up out of there as CEO, now we got some action. Because now we're getting to the point where, oh crap, these shareholders, these people that actually care about their money and not about your woke agenda, they're starting to make their voices heard and they're starting to let their feelings be known. And now things are going to change. That's basically where it is, man. That's where it's at. Yeah, 100% Donald Skywalker. Disney is scared of Peltz, and by Disney, I mean Iger. Man, Iger is shaking in his boots right now, man. He does not want this guy coming around making problems for him. Iger, he knows that. He knows Peltz is a problem. But bigger than that, you got to figure that everybody, all little woke idiots that are working over there at Disney, they got to be shaking in their boots too, man. They got to be nervous at this point. They got to be worried, man. Like, crap, am I going to have a job? What's going to happen next year? What's going to happen the next year after that? Again, we just talked about Pixar laying people off. They laying off people. They tired of folks is like, hey, we ain't got the money for you no more. Sorry. We ain't got the money that we used to make when we was making good content. Now we're making woke trash. We don't have the money no more. And now you got writers and actors asking for more money. So now we're going to have to cut back even more and make less content. This is how Hollywood is going to get itself fixed. It's going to kind of be a self-fulfilling prophecy because you got all of these cats asking for more money, less content is being made, and then people will start getting laid off, and then you're going to have stock prices dropping. Nelson Peltz and all of these other cats are going to be like, hey, what's going on here? Hey, where my bread at? Oh, no. We got to get them out of here. We got to get them out. We're losing money. The economy is going to shit, inflation going through the roof. Like everything that's happening right now, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you get woke, you go broke. And when the country and these entertainment studios and everybody's going woke, people start taking notice of that and people start making drastic changes, hard changes. It's going to be rough for Hollywood, I think, in the next 5 years. So to answer this other question, what's Disney going to be like in 2030? Disney might not be Disney. The Disney we know now may not exist by the time 2030 rolls around. It's hard to predict, but just seeing everything that's happening right now, I don't know. I don't know where this thing goes. But yo, fellas, everybody watching, that's about it for me, man. We've been going at it for about almost 2.5 hours. So I appreciate everybody showing up and showing out. We're going to leave it on this one. If they don't get rid of everyone on the board and all heads and the heads of all departments, even if they get Bob Iger out, it won't change. Again, you got to purge. You got to go for full purge, okay? Full purge. You got to get everybody gone. That includes Iger. That includes Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige. You got to clean house. You got to get rid of all the underlings and everybody in there. You got to get all of these cats out of here. Because that's how you do it. You got to get these cats out of here. So you're 100% right, MKB. 100% right. Everybody got to go. Okay, I'm going to leave it on this one because this is a good story too. Hollywood might not be around. Perfect way to end it. Hollywood may not be here, man. Hollywood might be outro. Gone for good because they decided to destroy their industry from the inside. They got woke. They went broke. Everybody begged for more money during the Hollywood strikes. That shut down production for 6-7 months. Hollywood might be on the ropes right now. No, it's not on. It might be. It is on the ropes. Hollywood is on the ropes right now. I don't know where they go for salvation, but man, it's going to be a trip. All right, folks, that'll do it for me. I appreciate every last one of you guys. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the love. I'm having a video coming out in a little bit talking about Reacher. I think that's a great show. And I think that's exactly what Hollywood needs right now. More masculine heroes. We talked about that a little bit today. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring it back next week. I'm looking forward to the next episodes of the DA's office. Love seeing you guys here, man. You guys don't know what it means. All right, 50 still watching. Hey, man, yo, we got up pretty high today. And, you know, just tell a friend, get more people in. We'll have a bigger, better stream next week. More friends, more parties. It's going to be awesome, man. You know, Tia hang around a little while longer, you know, so I'm looking forward to it. But hey, everybody, I appreciate everything that you guys do. You know, leaving the comments, hitting the likes, you know, that helps the videos, and the subscribers are starting to grow. I am growing, and I appreciate everybody that's coming over. You came over from WDW Pro. You came over from, Echo Base, came over from Echo Base Network. You know, we're going to see if we can get some of those guys to join in on the DA's office from time to time as well. But yeah, I just want to thank every last one of you guys. All right, we're going to end it right there. Everybody have a great long weekend. Enjoy yourselves. If you guys are in some of these stormy parts of the country or in the world, wherever you are, all over the world, be safe. Take it easy. You know, in America, we got Martin Luther King, so it's a long holiday weekend. Hope you guys enjoy your holiday weekend. Lots of football, okay? Some of y'all skip football to watch me, so I appreciate that, you know? All right, then, but we'll see you guys next time. This is the DA signing off. Peace out.